Here. Right now. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. Got a topic we're going to talk about later on in the broadcast that it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see how it's tackled and the take that is going on, the take everybody's going to be with it. But right now, let me say good morning, Badger. How you doing this morning?
It's another beautiful day, man.
Good deal, good deal. We're waiting on Captain Leonard to get here, so I know there's a lot going on in the political arena. It's certainly here in the Atlanta area. There's been a lot going on, man, and people have thrown their name in the hat in the for governor. The governor race is getting to be a little heated around here. In Atlanta and the Georgia area, but there's something I saw this morning. Um, and Badger, I know how you feel about this right here, and but for
Oh,
this, yeah. I know how you feel about this, man, but I want to talk about it and bring it to the conversation. There's a basketball player. I don't know if you follow basketball or not, but Thompson is his name. Kirsten Thompson, something to that effect. He was married to one of the Kardashian girls. They split up, and now they're actually back together. During the time where they were together, looking at the timeline, people saying during the time he were together, he had some infidelity, and while he was in Dallas, he was with this young lady, still a married man with this young lady. She became pregnant, and now he's telling her that he's going to retire next year, and so if she expecting to get a big payday out of this whole situation, that she's not going to get it. She's not going to get a big payday. He said, you better go ahead and take what I'm offering you right now. He's offering her $75,000. He's offering her $75,000 to get an abortion. He's offering her $75,000 to kill the baby. Imagine. Yeah. And like I said, I know how you feel about this, and I
so
know
when
how.
can we take him out back and cut off his parts?
Say it again.
I said, when can we take him out back and cut off his parts?
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well, men like that's part of the problem in this world right now.
hmm
Then
hmm
people are gonna go, "Oh, this sports guy can say this and do all this stuff. Why can't I?"
hmm But see, and Badger, you know how I do things, man. I like to look at both sides of the coin. I like to look at both sides of the coin, and in that, there's for me the stance that he's taking. There's no way in this world I will ever take that stance. So I don't agree with him at all. I don't want anybody that's listening. We got quite a few people that's coming on. I don't want anybody to think that I'm taking his position or I'm agreeing with him because I don't. Do not, do not. I I stand with Badger. Actually, I stand with Badger with this right here because I don't think a man should have a right to tell a woman what to do with her body. I just don't think that. I don't think that at all. So in that, me and Badger are standing hand in hand, and we'll stand back to back and fight anybody that come against us on that. But I still like to look at both sides of the coin. And my thing is, the lady has some responsibility in this as well. Because if she know that this is an NBA player, know who he is, know that he's married, know that he have a wife, I mean, you're not all innocent in this either.
How old was she?
She's an adult,
How
of about
old
30,
was she at the time?
about 30 something years old. So she's not a child. She's not a child. She's about 30 something, but at that time she was
Well,
about 30 something, 30 plus years old.
see,
So she was not a child.
you can't use age nowadays.
Okay. Well, there had to be some kind of reason. There had to be some kind of reason why you asked how old she was, though, wasn't there?
I was aiming more toward mental age, but that's hard
Mm-hmm.
to tell without knowing the person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what did you say his name was?
On Christian Thompson. Something to that effect. He's been in the league for a long time. He's been in the league for a long time. Has a history. He has a history. But my thing is this right here, man. I can't go totally against him and not give her some of the responsibility, and I certainly can't go totally against her and not give him any other responsibility. They both were involved, and now to the point where there's a child involved, man. There's a child involved, and now because of the fact that there's a child involved, there's a whole different responsibility that's involved there. There's a whole different responsibility. The phone lines are open 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Tell us what you think. Now he's telling this young lady,
Oh, okay. Hold
yeah,
on.
he's telling this young lady, hold on, Badger. He's telling this young lady, he's going to give her $75,000 to to kill her child, basically. 70, he said, I'm gonna give you $75,000. If you don't take it, I'm not having no responsibility. He said, this is what they say. He said, I didn't hear it, but they say he said, I'm not taking no responsibility. I'm not taking no ownership. You're not getting anything. I'm gonna retire from the NBA. So you're gonna get the minimum of what an unemployed man will pay you. And so I don't know how competent he is, because if he's been in the NBA for that amount of time, he'll get paid for a long time. Even after he stopped paying, he'll still get a check. He still get a paycheck because of the fact he was in the league for a long time. So I don't understand what he's talking about when he say unemployed, because he's certainly not going to be unemployed. But go ahead, Badger.
Her name is Marla Nichols. She is the third kid. Is expecting his third child with personal trainer Marlene Nichols, 31
Mm-hmm.
of Houston, Texas, according to paternity.
Mm-hmm. So as I said earlier, man, she's not a child. I mean, she knows better too. She
Well,
knows that
she
he was married. She knows that he was married. She knows that he had a wife, and so and for her to put herself in that situation, I'm not gonna point the blame in any direction. What I will do is look at the fact that there's a child and he's talking about killing this child for a fee. That's what I would concentrate on. But go ahead, brother.
I was just looking more into it, and it was apparently like after or like during him dating the whoever whichever Kardashian he's
Yeah,
dating.
I think that as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, timeline wise, they were married during that time, because they've been married for a while. They've been married, but see, and even all that, but I want you to finish your thought. But even there's so much mess. There's so much mess tied up into this thing, man. But hey, bro,
Is that not-
Badger.
Oh, I was just reading. So apparently, like I'm looking at one of the many things online. Apparently,
Mm-hmm.
is oh,
It's ugly. It's
so
ugly.
in a nutshell, she's asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
Be responsible,
Mm-hmm.
and he's telling her to do that.
Yes, absolutely.
Um, I'm I have a lot of issues with
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot
now.
tied into it. It's a lot tied into this
Yeah,
thing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
now I know she's old. Oh, she was older.
Mm-hmm.
She's made the choice to open her legs and
Mm-hmm.
da 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 da. Da.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he also made the choice, so now
Yeah.
they've both made a choice, and part of doing, that kind of act
Mm-hmm.
is the potential that a child could
Come out of it. Absolutely.
yeah come out of
Absolutely.
it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So both of them have a brain, and this ended up happening. To me, the way he's acting definitely shows where humanity is for them in a lot of areas.
Hmm. But
Um,
see, but see that, and we got a call. Going to go to the call as well. But see, that goes back to what I said. I can't put all. Do I agree with what he's saying and what he's trying to do? Absolutely not. No, no, no. There's no right in that. But at the same time, I can't put all the responsibility on him. Nor can I put all the responsibility on her. I can't because.
well,
But at the end of the day, what I will say is there's a child involved, and because of the fact that there's a child involved, that's what my focus is. These are two consenting adults. But but for what he's saying to do, the child has no choice. Let me go to the phone line. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
by the way, it's illegal in Texas.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning. Good morning. Toya the T calling from the ATL.
Toy you with a
Hello.
T. Toy you with a T. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How's it going? Good. How you doing?
Doing good. Toy, we got a conversation, and I'm so glad you called in. Sister, I'm so glad you called in because I want to have a young lady's perspective on this. Cause me and Badger, uh, um, we could play tennis with this thing. And so you're gonna be the balancing force in this thing if you don't mind being that. You don't mind, do you?
No, I'll try.
I got you. I
I'll
got you.
try.
Listen, Christian, I messed his name up. Christian Thompson, the NBA player. You know who he is, married to the Kardashian girl.
Right?
Yeah, he during the time, and they're saying in the timeline, him and the girl Chloe, I think her name is Chloe, was married, but they were separated during this time. Well, he got with a young lady. Badger pulled up, say she was a personal trainer. He got with her, and did had adult activities, and she became pregnant. She had the baby. Well, was about to have the baby. Well, he said to her back before she had the baby, look, now if you're looking for a payday, you're not getting. I'm going to retire. I'm not gonna have no money. You're gonna get the money that of an unemployed man if you get any money. So if you're looking for a payday, we're not gonna do it. What I'm gonna offer you is $75,000. Go have an abortion. So basically, in essence, he's saying I'm gonna pay you $75,000 to kill this child. Now,
Right.
like I said to Badger, I don't agree with him at all in this, but I can't put all the ownership on him. I have to slice the pie. I don't even know if I was slicing down the middle because he knew better too. But I have to slice the pie in a way where she have some ownership in it as well because she knew that he was a married man and she knew what he was getting into because he have a track record now. He's not like he's innocent and he's not done things like this before. He has a track record. So Toya, with that being said, who's right, who's wrong, or my thing is, and I don't need. I'm gonna let you say what you want to.
Uh,
I'm gonna let you say what you want to say on that, Toya. But at the same time, my focus, and I could be totally off, is that child though. But anyway, what do you say?
well, what's the difference between a man and a woman if nobody's going to have the head leadership responsibility? A
Mm-hmm.
man is a man, and God set this thing in motion for it to be carried out and followed, period, point blank. So there's never no power taken away from the position of the man and who he is, and he is the one first in charge, built in an image, and has to be considerate of the things that he do. And everything else in this world leads after the man,
Mm-hmm.
period.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everything else. Everything else has dominion after the man, the way God said.
Mm-hmm.
So that's first and foremost. Now it's the woman's fault only because now God has given us personal responsibility because men fail to listen to God.
Mm-hmm.
It's always we always getting draped off, and I don't mean man, I mean human.
Yeah.
Always getting draped off of something foolish.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So personal responsibility now for the woman being defiant to God. This is what she gets.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what you go through now because you too, woman, looking for an excuse to say, oh, but Adam, but you, because you knew better too.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
So at the end of the day, when we have a child to suffer, you're both going to hell.
Mm-hmm.
Both of you. Because you don't do that. You better
Good
figure something
Lord.
out.
Good Lord. Good Lord. Whoa. Good Lord. Good Lord. Y'all both heathens. Y'all both are heathen. And y'all both got y'all heathens activity. And because you're heathens, you're both going to jail. Humble. Yeah.
Right. That right. That right. And the innocent baby gonna be dead, and y'all
Mm,
two little sorry, filthy souls
mm,
walk around here on the earth still causing whatever it is more you're causing.
You're causing more than what you're supposed to be causing. You ain't right.
Right.
Lord
That
Jesus,
part.
that look, that part right there. We had Leonard with us for a second. I think he having some issues with his feed this morning. So hopefully he gonna be back in with us in just a second or two. But Badger, she said both of them guilty, both of them wrong. Now one of them right. And I don't know. Now, Toy, how did you cut that pie? Did you cut it down the middle, or was it 50-50, or was it 60 40? How did you slice that pie?
Absolutely. It's 100. You a murderer, 100. You a murderer for making it, wanting it dead, and you are a murderer for picking a sorry excuse and going to get it done. You're both 100. You're both
Well, hold on.
the
She
hell.
didn't get it done. She will be having the baby boy. She
Yeah,
had
she's
the
gonna have
baby
the baby.
boy on December 3rd.
Yeah, she's gonna have the baby. Yeah, she's decided she's going to have the baby.
She,
Okay, you can and listen. You can still have the baby. You still going to hell for messing with another woman's man, lady. You don't do that.
Yeah.
Even if you try to come back and oh well, yeah, I'm gonna have the baby. You still ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not gonna get less of a sentence because you less of a right. Well, at least I didn't kill it. Well, had you not been your little fast tail in that predicament anyway with your wicked self, your wicked woman. That's why we bear pain now with our wicked behinds. You don't do that. And you don't use it as no. Oh well, I don't want to kill a child. You should have not been wanting to sleep with someone else's husband. Now
Mm-hmm.
you want to be so right. Come on with the joke.
Mm-hmm. Captain Leonard, good morning. How you doing this morning? Boy, we wired up. This is Monday morning.
Good,
This is
good,
Monday morning.
good morning, Raheem and the Morning Glow family. Y'all into it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I
And
apologize for being tardy, Mister. I don't like this app some days.
but look, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you, you ain't tardy, brother. You right on time. You right on time. And I'm gonna tell you what we're talking about, and we're gonna get into this, man. I want to hear your heart on this right here. Open
Uh-huh.
up the phone lines, and the phone lines are open 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Let us know what you think. Now, Leonard, we're talking about Christian Thompson. I butchered the brother's first name. Chris, I think it's Christian or however you say it.
Yeah, I still
But
don't know who you're talking about.
I'm terrible when it comes to names, brother. You
I
know that.
know.
Yeah, I'm not good at names at all, at all. I tell the world that. But listen, we lost Toya. Hopefully, we're gonna get her back in here as well. But Christian Thomas, he's married to the Kardashian girl, Chloe, I think is her name. And
Uh-huh.
during the time he was married, they were separated during this time. He
Okay.
went out and he had an affair.
Okay.
He had an affair, and in doing that, the young lady became impregnated. Um. Leonard, what you laughing for, man? You ain't supposed to laugh at but what happened was he got with her and she told him, she was pregnant and everything. And he told her this. He said, listen, I'm about to retire next year. If you're looking for a payday, you're not going to get it. You're gonna be getting money from an unemployed man, which is gonna be maybe a couple of $100 or something like that. You're not getting a lot. He said, so this is what I'm gonna do for you. He said, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you $75,000 right now. I'm gonna write your check for $75,000. Go have an abortion, and this problem be gone. Leonard, me, Badger, and Toya was talking about this thing this morning. I can't put ownership on one and not the other because he was wrong. And for the record, what he's trying to do, there's no part of me that agree with what he's trying to do. There's no part of me that agree with that. I'm not co-signing and endorsing that in any kind of way. So just for the record, I wanted to say that. But my thing is, he's wrong. But then again, she is as well because she knew he was married and know what his track record is. And so, what do you say to that, Leonard? He's offering us $75,000 with just to kill the child, basically. I'm not gonna try to dress it up. That's what he's doing. What do you say to that, Leonard?
Well, I'm not a judgmental person. I think they need to handle their business, and that's the way he needs to handle it. That is that. I could care
Mm-hmm.
less what happened, who did what, right or wrong, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
The point
Mm-hmm.
of the matter is, I am king of my domain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I will do as I see fit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, so that's not my situation.
Mm-hmm.
But what he's doing is what he's doing for the best of him and his life.
Mm-hmm.
So however they do what they do.
So what I'm hearing you say, and clarify it, if I might be off base here, I might have took a wrong take on this. And yeah, he's doing what is right for him and his life, but there's no consideration of this child at all.
No, no,
Wow.
because that's the least of the matter.
Mm-hmm.
You can put it up front
Mm-hmm.
if you would like, if that's your position or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
But this child was not conceived in love.
No.
No, this was a child conceived in sin.
Mm-hmm.
So
But still,
this to
but
him
still a
is a
child.
mistake. Is a
Mm-hmm.
mistake.
Mm-hmm.
He should take care of his mistakes. Every man,
Ah, see,
every man
ooh,
should.
that,
Every man should.
but see that opens up so much, Leonard. Whoa, Lord, I'm
But
glad
see,
you're
that's
going.
the thing
I'm
about it.
glad.
It
Mm-hmm.
only opens up
Mm-hmm.
for people who ain't got no business in them people's situation.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with any of us.
But my thing is, there's a lot of people out there that's listening to us right now that's absolutely pro-life, and and and
Yeah,
and and my thing is this, and I want to go to Badger. I want to hear what Badger got to say about this. We have Badger with us this morning as well, but there's a lot of people that's pro-life,
right.
and with them being pro-life, they say, well, because you made a mistake, it does not nullify, or not nullify. That's not the one I'm looking for. It does not justify, I guess, lack of a better term, that there's still a life that was produced out of this mistake. You made a mistake. Okay, you made a mistake. That's your mistake. But at the same time, you can't just kill and snuff out the life of this baby that you
In
created.
actuality, yes, you. In actuality, yes, you can.
I mean, you have the power to do it, but
Yes,
is that the just thing to do though?
it doesn't matter. It's his
Mm-hmm.
issue. It's his business.
Mm-hmm.
It's his business, and that's where people have to check themselves when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to judging other people.
Mm-hmm.
Because trust me, you doing something that you may not think is as bad as what this young man is proposing,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but you ain't raising a fuss about that.
Mm-hmm.
If it's really about sin and judgment and all this kind of crap,
Mm-hmm.
when really it's none of our business. The one who has the final say is the young lady.
Mm-hmm. He's taking that say away from her by offering her that
No,
money.
no, he's
Yes.
not. That's not
Mm-hmm.
true. He's
Mm-hmm.
given her an option because he
Mm.
could have put a bullet in her head and put her in the trunk.
Oh, you talking about like what's that boy name? That boy name
She
that
could have
played
come
for
up
Carolina
missing.
Panthers. That
She could
played
have
for
come up
Carolina
missing. Thank you.
Panthers.
She could have come up missing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
Mm-hmm.
various options, but still, it's not our issue. This is where, especially in the light of this situation with our Supreme Court right now
Mm-hmm.
and their decisions,
Mm-hmm.
this young lady need to do what's best for her because she has the upper hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's who that guy has to answer to. That's what he has to deal with. That's his obstacle and his stumbling block in the situation.
Well, my thing is, I don't agree either way, killing the child or putting her in a trunk or stuff like that. That certainly would not be my stance on it. But then again, everybody look at things and deal with things different. I
Hmm.
understand that
You can
in the
always go the other way.
in the street world, man, ain't no telling what you get. People
Right.
think them streets are vicious, man. Let's go to Badger. Badger, what's on your heart? What do you think?
Man, I
Come on, Badger.
looking like because of who he's been dating off and on for the past few years, and the fact that he has a daughter with him, and the fact that they broke up before because of cheating and all that other kind of stuff. You know, looking at the timeline of them being together, wouldn't surprise me if he told that personal trainer that they weren't together.
Mm,
Because according to Cleo, they weren't engaged or anything like that. So roughly around the timeline she would have got pregnant, they weren't. They it's very possible that they weren't together. So he didn't
well,
cheat.
well, they were from what they said, they were separated. They were separated at that particular time.
So he's doing the same thing he's always done. And then this lady happened to got pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
and from So she left Texas, from what I was reading, went to LA, and is now suing the Sacramento Kings for child support,
Mm-hmm.
doing what she can to hold him responsible for his choices.
Mm.
So I mean, this is just celebrity things. Guess what? It happens to
every day,
non-celebrities every
every day.
day.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
I mean, we could say that, and we wouldn't. Honestly speaking, we would not be wrong if we said it happens every day. But that still don't justify or make it right.
oh no,
It doesn't have to.
no, it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have to. The thing is, is people are out here using their um, bodies for whatever, for their own, what I guess you could say, joy or addiction. I'd
Mm-hmm.
rather say more addiction. You know, to get those happy hormones, and they're getting pregnant and all this other kind of stuff. I- Out of wedlock and all this other stuff. And a lot of times there's no love really involved. It's all
Mm-hmm.
about the happy hormones.
So let me ask y'all: do y'all think if this wasn't a celebrity type situation, it would not get any attention at all if it
No,
had
it
not been?
wouldn't.
No,
This is
not
as
Mm-hmm.
unless it was
common
like
as
severe.
you getting up every day.
Mm.
And what we
And
need to
that's the
be
sad.
concerned,
That's the
what we
sad
need
part,
to be,
though.
this
That's
is
the
the
sad
big,
part.
this is the big problem with this conversation and
Mm-hmm.
these types of conversations across the board. We're talking about some celebrities because they on TV, and the
Mm-hmm.
Supreme Court just overturned a law that gives states the rights to make up their own rules for this issue.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we should be talking about
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
because what they say go for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
What that couple would say don't matter to nobody but them. And
Mm-hmm.
we have a Supreme Court that just handed down a decision that affects everyone in the situation. That's what we should be concerned about instead of falling for the okie doke with the media and these two little trifling people that go back and forth, sleep around, do whatever under the sun that they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And now because
Oh,
they celebrity and one of them don't got pregnant or whatever, have done something interesting for people to look at and say, oh, this, that, and the other. When y'all sitting up
I'm
here
gonna
with
say something.
babies
I'm gonna
that
say
don't
something.
belong to y'all.
My thing is this right here. I can stand on what you're saying. I can agree with that. But my thing, I don't care. To me, and this is me. I could be dumb as a bag of rocks, I guess. But to me, it doesn't matter whether they're a celebrity or whether they're not. Whether they're the average Joe and Jill that's walking up and down the street. I'm more concerned about the child and
Like I
and and
said,
and, and
exactly.
what's going to happen with the child. That's what I'm more concerned. It
There
doesn't matter,
is a part of that.
yeah, yeah. And so that's the thing right there. People say, and people can say, well, y'all talk about this, and maybe I heard it on the radio this morning, and that's why I heard of that. And they can say, well, they just highlighting it because these are two celebrities. Maybe so, but at the same time,
No,
it's
that
just,
is why they're doing it.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm telling
I can agree
you,
with that.
if you threw a rock in a group of 10 people,
Mm-hmm.
two or three of them gonna have the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
Or have already done something like this or something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
sin ain't new.
Yeah.
It's been
Mm-hmm.
happening. A lot of folks, I don't know about people on this call, but the majority of the time you talking to people, they have these strange familiar situations. People
Mm-hmm.
raising kids that don't belong to them, people neglecting kids, all types of things going on with children.
Mm-hmm.
And the value judgment of it all is the issue
Mm-hmm.
on right or wrong. Well, first of all, we know it started off wrong.
It did.
Nobody
Absolutely.
wanted it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So as a human being, you have the
Well,
will
well, they
to
wanted
change
it
your
to happen. They didn't
situation.
want to have. They
Eh,
wanted to happen. They didn't want to have a baby in the process. But I know what you're
right,
saying. Yeah,
right. But
yeah.
that's what happens. We all know that's what happened. And they knew
Mm-hmm.
what happened when they wasn't wearing no protection and all
Mm-hmm.
these types of things.
Mm-hmm.
So man has always come up with a way because he has that power to make those decisions. In this particular issue, in my opinion, the power is on the side of the woman. This is the way to me it should be.
Okay. I know what you mean. I know what you mean by that, Leonard. But explain to my listeners what exactly you mean when you say the power is in the hands of the woman. What exactly does that look like?
Because she is the only one that has the right to terminate this pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because it's her body.
Mm-hmm.
Why shouldn't Raheem or any of people like me with penises should be involved in this? We're not married to this woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who knows who this child belongs to?
Mm-hmm.
That's another issue. So I always operate in the mode of how am I going to fix the mess I've gotten myself into?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I understand this person is doing.
There's a lot. There's a lot tied into this thing, man. There's a lot tied into this.
No, no,
That
it's
just.
not. No, it's not. It's not a lot at all.
Yeah.
Not no,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a lot at all.
To me, when the baby should be born now, do a DNA test. If it's his, take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to take care of it, give your rights away and be done.
Well, see, my thing is that's what he wants to do anyway. He don't want to have any obligation, any responsibility for this child at all. He don't want to have any responsibility, and so that even that would be giving him an out. If you say, well, right, sign away your rights, that's giving him an out. You
Well,
you
okay,
you you were there during during the time we was doing all this stuff, or they were doing all this stuff. I wasn't in there with them, but while I was going through the whole process, you were a part of this thing, and now the child is born. Now, child has come out of this thing. How you gonna just turn and walk away?
dude, if I understood the answer to that, we would be solving a lot of the community problems we have.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it's sad to say that. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of issues with men doing things like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what like the funny thing is, reading his official, you know, lawyer document thing. He's literally saying he knew exactly what she was going to, what she meant by special birthday present, and he made a human choice to go along with it. Wasn't drunk, nothing like that. He chose to go along with it. Should
Mm-hmm.
he be held responsible to help take care of that child?
Yes.
Yeah, he really should. Or
Mm-hmm.
but then you get into another set of morals or or other things. She chose to keep the kid. And this is something else a lot of people complain and have been complaining about and stuff like that is the woman's choosing and the man's willing to give away all of his rights and not be involved or anything like that. He's held responsible no matter what to some degree of also having to help take care of that child,
Mm-hmm.
even
Mm-hmm.
though he doesn't doesn't want nothing to do with it whatsoever. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so uh, there's quite a few people that are on both sides of that coin as well. Those that think he should be held responsible, and those that go, why hold him responsible if he's willing to give away full custody? If a woman has the right to abort a child, why can't a man have the right to say no?
Mm.
You wanted to keep this child,
See,
I'm stepping away from it.
my thing is this right here. What people don't understand is a lot of times, certain people want the milk. A lot of people want the milk, but you got to understand that in order to get the milk, you have to have the cow too. The cow comes with the milk, and you can't have the milk without the cow. And so you say, oh, sign away your rights and stuff like that, and people do it. People do it, but at the end of the day, man, you should, if you lay down with this young lady and y'all did what y'all did together, consensually did what y'all did together. You know that on the other side of this coin, if you don't, like Leonard said, protect yourself in a certain way, there's a possibility that this is what is or can happen. This is what
I
is
need
or
my
can.
money.
Hey, Leonard, what do you say there, Carl? I'm going to come to you in just 1 second.
I say
Leonard,
you
what do
need
you
to get
say?
that man. You need to get that man his money. Uh,
That's Minister Neil, man. You know who that is. You know who that is. Where my money? But
You know,
see,
I'm going to always be on the same side of this coin.
mm-hmm,
Yes, I've debated the other side as well, blah blah blah, and you know, it's not great on that side either.
mm-hmm,
But I'm more concerned with the people whose issue this actually is, and
mm-hmm,
allowing them to make the decision what's best for them. Now, if some of y'all consider that entertainment, which I do understand that, I understand.
mm-hmm,
But the truth of the matter is, somebody pregnant, someone doesn't want the pregnancy, someone probably has another agenda. The woman probably has another agenda, which was alluded to because I don't know their story,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I know
exactly.
this is just as common as the sun rising every day.
Mm-hmm,
And we got a whole community full of kids that really don't know who their daddy is, living in horrible conditions, and all these other types of things.
mm-hmm,
Surely a wealthy man should have more
mm-hmm,
options as well. He should
mm,
have a little bit. He should have a little bit more desire to take care of his situation. He
mm-hmm.
definitely has the monetary ability to do so. So he should do that. Operate in his best interest. I'm not going to sign what I think about in my best interest to something that does not exist.
Mm-hmm. Minister Neil, good morning. How you doing this morning? Mr. Neil, you there? Oh, soon as I went to him, he hung up. Ain't that something?
Because
Hopefully he'll call.
Mississippi, by the way, this is comment. Mississippi is when it comes to this post Roe versus Wade, and for people who don't follow politics and are not really aware of this and states' rights and how this works, that means every state
Mm-hmm.
could have a different
Mm-hmm.
policy for this issue of
Yeah,
abortion,
exactly.
however they
Exactly.
see fit, whether it be rape, forced, or whatever. It's just
Mm,
a way to take power away from women
mm-hmm.
and making
Mm-hmm.
this decision. And we have to be very careful, just like we're dealing with the issue of mandatory vaccination.
Yeah.
This is a complete intrusion into people's personal affairs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Mm,
not for that in any way, shape, form, or fashion that takes the power away from an individual to make certain decisions about their life that they are completely capable of making.
mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Let me go back to Minister Neil. Minister Neil, good morning. How you doing this morning? Got another caller. Caller, we coming to you next.
Morning, good people. How's everybody doing this morning?
Hey, doing good, man. We're talking about Christian Thompson. You know the guy, NBA player, man. He during the time he was with the Kardashian girl, he kind of stepped out. They were separated, they say. He stepped out, got with another young lady, and impregnated her. And now he's saying, you go out there, you're trying to get a payday, it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna return from the league, and when I retire from the league, I'm gonna be unemployed, and you're gonna get unemployment benefits from a man that's unemployed. I don't know what he's thinking about because he's been in the league so long, he can always get some money from the league, but I don't know what he's talking about there. But anyway, he told her that he said, listen, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you $75,000 right now. Go have an abortion. So basically, what he's saying is, go kill that child, $75,000, and walk away. And this never happened. Minister Neil, what are you hearing? And what's on your heart?
I mean,
Your phone is just a
I
little.
don't know what's wrong.
Your phone a little bit low, brother. A little bit. Your phone's just a little bit low.
Hold on. Let's do this right. Hey, hear me now?
Yes, sir. Much better. Much better.
All right. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that story. I couldn't even tell you what that young man is thinking right now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, you got to think today is Trey's birthday, so I would feel away by something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I really would.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
really would. I'll be like, I mean, nuts. But I'm kind of like with Nana. She's in control.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Mm-hmm.
that don't sound good.
No.
I'm just honest. That don't sound good.
Mm. And that's what I said earlier, man. There's no way at all I could co-sign on him with what he's saying. I mean, there's no way, because what he's saying, man, is to me totally wrong. Totally wrong. You telling this lady to kill her child for $75,000, basically, is what you're telling her. And so I think though that's totally wrong. But at the same time, I have to look at both sides of the coin. And in looking at both sides of the coin, she got responsibility in this too, because she knew he was a married man, and she knew what the situation was. And so, it's the unfortunate part about this is that there's a child that's involved.
But at the same token, I'm looking at it from a perspective of, I mean, with the act that was done, we got to go through the whole procedure. We got to think if it's unprotected or protected, it's a possibility that she can get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So if you didn't look at her or see her in that matter, I think that you shouldn't have done it. Now that you have done the deed, I think that now you got to stand up and be a man.
Mm-hmm.
It's about being a man. This has nothing to do with that, about his relationship with her.
Mm-hmm.
About being a man to take care of your young.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I rest of that stuff. I don't really get too wrapped up in who right and who wrong. I don't even care. I don't know nothing about them. I don't even know. You the first person I've ever heard talk about this story.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, wow, really? So for 75,000, I mean, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
Wow.
I mean, what kind of man? I mean, I don't know the dear brother, but for me, that's not something that I hope she's not signing up for. I'll put it like that.
Exactly.
That has nothing to do with nothing about her being financially set because he's an NBA player. It has nothing to do with that child.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to start looking at it from that perspective. And my Atlanta said again, she's in total control.
Mm-hmm. And she is.
Suggest all we want and try to make it seem like we helping. But you ain't really helping. You try to benefit yourself, try to run around again.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you 10,000 a month she have a portion. I can almost guarantee sleep with her again.
Mm-hmm.
I can almost guarantee that.
Yeah. It's
that ain't nothing that just casually just happened.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And mutual line for me, brother. We got a little hissing sound coming from me line. Mutual line. I'm gonna go. Got a couple of callers here. The next call on the line was the next one was, I think, Annie from Mississippi. Annie, you there?
I am here.
Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Why you always change your voice when you call my name?
Cause you Annie from Mississippi.
Why y'all? I'm not. I don't talk like that. All Mississippians don't talk like this.
You Annie from Mississippi. but Annie, what do you think about this
Good morning.
situation?
I'm doing fine. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. Good to have you, sis. What do you think about this situation, though? He's actually offering her $75,000 to kill her child. Their child. $75,000.
$75,000. First of all, ain't no money.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, you taking a beautiful child's life for that. This child, by her even being tied to him on the money side, is going to be a millionaire anyway. So why would anybody, first of all, settle for that amount of money? And then the moral side, that's a life involved.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he's rich or poor, that's a life involved.
Mm-hmm.
So, this man have always been, he's not going to change. And I think that he really don't want, this is my opinion, I think he just really don't want to be with that lady, that Kardashian lady. But I think he's thinking long term, probably. And he's thinking about, well, when I walk away from this right here, I'm going to have a set amount of money. But if I hook up, stay, with her, I can, the publicity alone, because they're not famous for no acting or no singing or anything like that. They're famous for a sex tape. So they have no kind of talent. And then once they got into, the name out there, then the money and, the company starting, the makeup and all that start. But he's thinking long term, probably. I don't think he even want to be with that lady. I think he's just going to be a player. But the man that he is right now, he's not going to change. He's going to always run around with the women. I think he's just a sex addict. He just loves to have sex. And I think he's a big old freak too, probably. He probably loves to do all kinds of crazy things. And he's just who he is. And then, keep in mind, when she met this man, he already met somebody else. So how you get him, you get him like this right here, he's going to treat you the same way anyway. So, hey, he ain't going to change overnight. Women love to think that. Women love to think that they can get a man steal a man from another woman's bed, and once he get in my bed, he going to change. He going to be saved. That ain't going to happen. He's not going to commit to you. You found him, you got him on that way, and the way you got him is the way he's going to be. He's going to
Mm-hmm.
always be what you are because that's how you got him. The
Annie,
women always feel like they can always change the man. You can't change no man.
Annie, you scaring
You
me,
can't
Annie.
change him. He may slow down a
Annie,
little bit when he get older, but he's
Annie,
still there.
Annie, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Annie? You,
I,
you,
I can hear you.
okay, you scaring me right now when you talk about the freaky dicky and all that stuff. Annie, you scaring me a little bit now. I don't know
Well,
what.
he's a little
I
freak
don't know
for
where
real.
you're going, Annie. I don't know where you're going. You scaring me a little bit now. I'm just saying. Now look, I'm just saying you scaring me a little bit. Let's hold on for a second. Stay right there. You ain't got to go nowhere. Hold on, but you're scaring me a little bit now. Cassandra, good, good morning, Cassandra. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, what do you think about this whole situation, man? He offered this, you heard the scenario about what happened?
Oh, gee, no,
Let me tell you what happened. What's that boy name? Christian Thompson. Christian Thompson. He was, with the Kardashian girl, Chloe, I think is her name, and they were separated during this particular time. He got with another young lady, a trainer. He got with her, and she became impregnated. He told her, "Listen, if you think this is gonna be a payday, it's not gonna happen. I'm about to retire next year, and when I retire, you're gonna be getting money from an unemployed man. You probably get a couple of $100 a month or something like that." He said, "This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you $75,000 right now. Go have an abortion." So in essence, he's trying to pay her $75,000 to kill their child. Cassandra, what are you hearing in that?
I mean, I'm on the other end of this spectrum because it's some pitiful women out here, and this ain't a good topic for me because I want to cut. So this ain't a
Don't
good.
cuss. Don't cuss,
Not a
Cassandra.
good topic for me.
Okay.
Okay, because because women that's trifling. They get pregnant for these guys because of the money and what they think they're gonna get, and it's pathetic. They can protect themselves. They do it intentionally. And those type of women, I have no respect for them, and I don't care what he do with her, what he asked her to do, because she's sorry. You know you're not married to that man, and they want those babies to be a commitment for money, and it's pathetic. So that 75, I don't even whatever, because she just pitiful.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them to do that, the Kardashians are known for that. That's how they hook men.
Mm-hmm.
It's pathetic.
Mm-hmm. So, Cassandra,
That's just my take.
if you don't mind, Cassandra, will you please take a moment and tell us what you really think?
No, because I'm gonna cut.
Oh, okay, good deal, good deal. Rico, good morning.
I'm gonna say a cuss word.
Yeah. Look, a couple of them almost slipped out a few minutes ago. A couple of them almost slipped out.
They didn't know. They didn't.
Okay. All right, Rico, good.
Hey, Raheem, I have a question for you, Raheem.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
want to ask the question.
Okay.
And I'm just being real.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it? Why? Tell me why. Do every time we make make a little money and get a little high, we always choose certain women with certain hair. Why is that?
That's right. That's right, Annie.
And that's why when they carry me the ring, I be cheering for them because we are sisters. We got some sisters out here that is beautiful and intelligent. I read somewhere on social media. Now I'm about to get mad. I read somewhere on social media that one guy say that he don't choose African American women because we love money. Are you freaking serious? These women you get take you to the cleaners. Tiger Woods, the woman he got, she completely drained him. This how Michael Jordan. His coach told him, get up, prenup, do what's right. He thinking we're hit with the wrong. We end up speaking totally, I don't think what I want to say. But anyway, he go out there and get something, but there are stipulations on it. The more children you have, the more money you get. And guess what comes? All of a sudden the baby comes. Why do they always get certain color women? We got beautiful black women out there too. And we may get some money from y'all, but they get some money from y'all. You feel that?
Mm-hmm.
We may get a little something, but they get some money from y'all.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Boy, this conversation, this is a good one right here.
No, that's gonna calm down there.
Oh, okay. I wanted to let you calm down, so it seemed like you was getting a little disturbed. You was getting a little disturbed. I want to make sure you calm now. Let me go to Rico, then Charles coming to you next. Rico, you've been holding on for a few minutes, brother. What's on your heart?
Man, first
How
off, grand rising to everybody.
how it doing this morning?
Man, I can't complain. Y'all been doing all right.
Yes, sir. Doing good. But man, look here. I told you Georgia was gonna drop that thing, but we'll talk about that later. What do you think about this situation, man? Who's right, who's wrong? Is there any right or wrong in this?
Yeah, it's to me it's wrong on both sides. It's an indictment on society. But before I get started, I got to tell you, man, you got to learn these people's name if you're gonna talk about them, and you ain't gonna never catch up to TMZ.
I'm terrible. I said it this morning. I'm terrible, man.
You gonna never catch up with me. I think what his name is. But
It's Christian Thomason, ain't it?
it's true. It's Tristan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Tristan Thompson.
Okay.
But you know, it's an indictment on society.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you look at people like, just think about what he said. First off, he is in a powerful position.
Mm-hmm.
He is uber financially set.
Yes.
But at the same time, he has no character about himself. He is a step away from Ray Caruth. He's a step away from Eddie Murphy. You know, Eddie Murphy got all this big money and we give him all this praise, and he had a child with another entertainer and didn't want nothing to do with it.
Exactly. Yep. Sure did.
He didn't want anything to do with it. If I ain't mistaken, at one point in time, he was considering signing over his rights. But see, this society we live in right now is money over everything. It doesn't matter that he's married to Khloe Kardashian. It doesn't matter that he cheated on her or made her pass at her best friend and kissed her. It doesn't matter that he threatened Lamar, and Lamar was married to her first just for commenting on her Instagram. I mean, man, this is a very rich, powerful, petty, immature man.
He's not married to Kardashian girl. He ain't married to her. They grew up in the boyfriend.
He might not be married to her, but Lamar Odom was. I said Lamar Odom was married to her. And he actually he came at Lamar Odom for Lamar Odom coming back and tweeting a compliment on her post. You know, how do the little love eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's the, I ain't gonna say he's the side guy, but he's the baby daddy threatening the ex-husband who's complimenting his ex-wife. That's very, I'm gonna say, controlling. You know, that's like a power move. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm the man. I'm in what I say goes, and money over everything. Once again, so he was simple-minded enough to even come out of his mouth and say something. I mean, man, that was so unintelligent. I'm gonna be unemployed. Yeah, you're gonna get a pension too.
Exactly.
You ain't gonna be that unemployed. She ain't supposed to be running around here broke and still just, you know, struggling trying to get in your pockets and you broke. No, she supposed to get paid.
Yep.
But then you actually entertain over $75,000. I mean, so just think about how simple and selfish of a proposal that was. But then, you know, like I said, it's an indictment on society. Because first off, if women didn't give these men no cat, the men wouldn't be able to get none. But see, it's certain things that these women still like about these men that they overlook all these other terrible characteristics.
Yep, exactly.
They overlook his morale and his integrity, and they look at him as desirable because they value society altogether values success and power. So people, I mean, look, dope dealers have become, I'm gonna say, viable. I saw a poll the other day where men were asking women where they asked women what type of men did they want in a certain order. Did you want the scam artist, the drug dealer, or the professional man? Do you know most of them women chose scam artists and drug dealer before the professional man?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all. Absolutely.
So,
and it's sad.
Then we got another statistic. It goes to show you that, you know, people are just out here having sex with people for the wrong reason, and then they're doing an act that is actually supposed to be to create life. They're doing it leisurely just to try to gain some type of access to certain people so they can have more access to power. And so I'm looking at a poll yesterday, and I've said this, man, I've been talking about this, I know, for at least 12 years, the marriage rate. Not only in the black community, but in the United States as a whole now, children are only a part of 14% of married households. That means right now, out of all the children walking around in the United States, only 14% of them got a mom and a dad in the same house. Or it might be a mom and a dad and a daddy. They just said married.
Yeah. Yeah.
14% of children in the United States are in a household with a married family.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that lets you know something ain't right with our culture. Then you see
Exactly.
a lot of women say, "Ain't no good men out here. I want a traditional man." But
Mm-hmm.
modern women aren't traditional. Ain't no
Mm-hmm.
good men out here. Well, if ain't no good men out here, where all these babies coming from?
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good.
Tristan Thompson ain't a good man.
Mm-hmm.
Tristan Thompson ain't a good man, but he rich and he famous.
Yep.
And sometimes that's good enough.
Wow. Wow. 508-924-3521. This is not our topic for today, but it's getting hot and heavy anyway. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. Charles, good morning. How you doing this morning?
What's going on, brother? Hey,
Man, I
man.
need to hear your input on this. What do you think? What are you hearing, brother?
Uh, Rico, everything Rico said, man, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with it. So you saying that the brother he left separated with the Kardashian chick and went to another chick,
Mm-hmm.
which is a trainer. Now,
Yeah.
was she black or white, man? I'm just asking.
I don't know. I don't know.
Because to
Badger,
me,
Badger,
it's kind of
you
weird.
see her picture, Badger?
Do what?
Did you see her picture? Did they show a picture
Yeah,
of her?
yeah, she was a model or something like that.
What's her nationality?
She's not black, no.
Why would you ask me that?
Because you looked up, you did research on it earlier, and I thought you had the article still pulled up.
Well, I couldn't tell you what race she is. You can't
That's
judge
right.
a you can't
No,
judge
no, no,
a
no, no. Badger,
nationality by
Badger.
skin color no more.
Okay,
That is
what does
true,
she appear?
but
What does she appear to be? Badger, what does she appear to be? Oh, he don't even want to touch. Go ahead, Charles.
No, I ain't touch. No,
Mm-hmm. Charles, go
absolutely.
ahead. Charles, I think Charles frozen on us. Charles, can you hear me? I think Charles is frozen. Leonard, what Charles? As a matter of fact, I said I was going to come to Toy You with a T. Toy You with a T. Good morning. How you doing this morning again, sister? What's on your heart?
Hey, good morning,
I
good
mean,
morning. Well, I wonder what happened to Charles and Badger. But I mean, hey, I got a different kind of outlook again because I just put responsibility where it is. You know,
Mm-hmm.
guys know what women do, and
Mm-hmm.
women know what guys do. And if again, you know, you're gonna be held personally accountable for your actions, right? So let's just say, uh, okay, he don't want nothing to do with it. Okay, fine, you know, give me the 75,000, and I'll go take care of it. And she don't. Then what? What
Mm-hmm.
what what happened when you change your mind? Then you say, "Oh, I want to be a part of that child's life." Then we gonna like proof. Then we
Mm-hmm.
gonna go back over it. First of all, let me tell you something. You have a severe mental problem when you want to kill your own child. What happened when an animal want to kill their own child? Huh? When an animal wants to eat or chew or murder its own child, that's sign of an issue. So let's address that first and foremost, whether you're a man or the woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's your own seed, and you're
Mm-hmm.
killing it. That's a little bit of a problem. Let's go to the first problem. When you step outside of yourself and you have sex with a whole bunch of random people, that's a problem. Whether you're a
Mm-hmm.
woman or a man, that's a problem. You don't even understand it. You got a mental problem. And if you're married and you're doing it, that's even more of a mental problem. You have a child mind because you lack self control, because you don't know how to and when to lay down and what it's used for. Mental problem. Two mental problems right there. And one normally going to correlate with the other. If you don't have the decency to make sure that you're laying with someone who you want to be with for the rest of your life, and your wife they boo boo butt, but you ejaculate some stuff in them, that's hey, what you gonna care about killing it?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and for the woman too, what you gonna care about killing it when you intruding on somebody who you know in a relationship, and that's what you want to do. You know, some of us women, we want to prove we more woman by stealing somebody else's man. You know, some of these gay men do that too. They like the ones that's straight. They like the ones that's married. They can just gun harder at turning them out. You're going to hell. It don't make no difference. We can sit here and compromise and rationalize and put whatever we want to put on the scale. You're gonna burn if you ain't already gonna burn while you're here. because this whole conversation is foolishness when we're talking about adults. We're not talking about 17-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about grown people.
Yeah,
We're talking about
exactly.
adults
Exactly.
creating other people, and then you talking about what's wrong with the kids? What? Are you kidding me? You understand what I'm saying? Like this is what's wrong with the kids right here. We
Mm-hmm.
we we don't have it together as adults. We don't even respect our own seeds. What happened when you don't respect your own seed? What happened when you disrespect your own seed? Your seed coming for you. Like, come on with the jokes. So again,
Mm-hmm.
until we learn our roles as human beings, first and foremost, man or woman, and we understand what sex is for, and when we creating little humans, and that like we violate our own. If we violate our own seed, regardless of what the excuse is, we have some mental problems that we need to go ahead and adjust. And until we adjust that as a people, it ain't gonna matter what the nation thinks or do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's good. That's good. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh, I'm still just listening. Of course, my point of view don't change, but it
Mm-hmm.
is the issue of them. And I think you were asking questions. This person is an Instagram model named Sydney Chase. She
Mm-hmm.
appears to be of mixed race
Okay.
or whatever. She's a beautiful girl. However,
Mm-hmm.
let's clear up some things because I'm not aware of these situations, and I just have a question. Were they married?
You mean Chloe and
This
Kirsten?
guy Tristan Thompson.
Tristan. I
No, they
they,
weren't.
they were not married at that time.
No.
Okay. Okay.
So, um, as I was reading that the young man has to file legal issues against this particular female because of her upcoming involvement in trying to pitch a reality TV show.
Wow. You mean
So,
Thompson had to do that?
so yeah. So your value
Mm-hmm.
judgment issues are just far flung based on most people's quote religious
See,
perceptions.
that goes, man. I don't mean to cut y'all, man, but that goes right into what Cassandra was saying, man. This lady trying to turn this thing into a payday.
I mean, is that shocking to you?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay. Because I mean, I don't. Women should be sleeping with men that are wealthy and can afford the children that they produce.
Mm-hmm.
They should be doing that. That's how you look out for the welfare of your child.
Mm-hmm.
So, what this person is doing, this man is even denying they had a relationship.
Mm.
These are allegations, that he could be the father of this woman's child.
DNA don't lie.
So it's all for entertainment for you
Mm-hmm.
all.
Mm-hmm.
But this issue is very common. I mean, like I said, I don't have an opinion about the values because who said they care about your values in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
it looks like it's just people doing what they normally do anyway. And because they can make a little change off of it, they own the news.
Mm. Okay. We lost Charles earlier. I want to go back to him, brother. What's on your heart?
I just heard who was just speaking?
Leonard.
Leonard.
Yes.
Hey, that the last bit I heard, man, I totally agree with him. Yeah,
You
I
doing a
do.
lot of agreeing this morning, Charles. You know more. You.
Hey man, y'all, hey, either we meeting in the middle or something. I don't know, but hey, what he said is true, man. It's
Mm-hmm.
true. They've been doing this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman do suppose that if she gonna sleep with anybody, don't sleep with no broke joker.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I
you
ain't
go
saying
back to
she's a
the value,
gold digger, but she
and
ain't
then you
sleeping
go
with
back
no.
to the value, right,
Mm-hmm.
right. Then you go back to the value thing that Rico was saying. Hey man, who raised these dudes and who raised these women?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a. I thought at first it was a Khloe Kardashian type thing, but it's actually him allegedly having a child behind her. You understand?
Yes.
And the
Yes.
chick looks just like Khloe to me. I seen a picture of her.
Mm-hmm.
She look a lot like Khloe. So you know the brand of women that he like.
Yeah.
And they ain't African Americans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which is another thing, the same thing Cassandra was saying. So I'm agreeing. Hey, life is life, man. If people who raised, my question always when I see people doing strange things or weird things that I don't agree with, I say, who raised them?
Mm-hmm.
How were they raised? This dude This might be on his third child. So hey, it might be like Leonard said, it's a legend.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
hey, those cats
exactly.
got, either way it
There's a
goes,
lot going on.
he'll learn like Kwame Brown said, you have all these kids out here, you're gonna learn the hard way that they're gonna get that money.
Mm-hmm.
And that lady's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna take $75,000 if she is pregnant.
No, no, no.
Allegedly, she ain't gonna take
Mm-hmm.
75,000.
No, 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 no. And see, there's so many different ways I could go with that. Cassandra, what's on your heart right now?
First of all, I am in amazement that Charles agreed with me and praise God to move on.
Mm-hmm.
You just made
Hey,
my
hey,
day, man. You just made my day. I'm telling you. I'm
hey,
telling you.
when you
But no,
we in agreement, man.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree with what everyone has said. Our value system is so low
Yep.
in this country right now. I mean, there's no value on marriage. There's no value on sex. There's no value on a child's life. It's just no value.
Mm-hmm.
That's just where we are.
Yeah.
Rico, I mean, I'm telling you, I have a serious problem with these women, and they do it intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't no, oh, I didn't know no better, or I didn't want to use protection. Why are you not using some type of protection to protect yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you just randomly sleeping with these guys because they got big money? Okay, good. They got big money. Yeah, they can't take care of the child. But look at how you look. You look like a horse.
I'm so
Basically,
glad she said
that's
it.
the way she
I'm
looks.
so glad Miss Cassandra said it. Because I swear I just thought it. I swear.
Man, God
It was on the tip. It was on the tip of your tongue, Leonard. It was on the tip of your tongue, brother.
But you're looking for values judgments from whores. That I mean, that don't go. Hey, what's the point?
Wow.
What's the
Wow.
point?
Mm.
These are rich people, just like everybody. You ain't gotta have no money. They're just sleeping around doing whatever they want to do. Every day.
So you don't think you could turn a whore into a housewife?
I'm not even going that far.
Mm-hmm.
What?
If that's what you want, if that's what you want, if that's one of your objectives in life,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see how that work out for you.
Mm-hmm.
But this issue
What issue?
with these people, y'all looking for value judgments for people who don't have the same value system as you all do.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just assume that they have the same value system? What? Because they're Americans, or what? I mean, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
What makes this so unbelievable is my point. And America, I am in the world, not of the world. So America's value system has nothing to do with me. I'm not that cat. I have a value system.
Yeah.
And it does not matter to me whether anybody else likes it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm giving these people the same right away. Yeah, well, he shouldn't do this. Look where he at. Look who he with, and look what they doing.
Yeah.
Well, at what point did y'all think he was some holy Christian? I don't understand. Or either of them for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
These folks do anything under the sun, and you apply your value system to what they've done. But this is what happened when the church stopped teaching sanctification.
Mm-hmm. Come on. See, that's we going somewhere different now, but that's powerful. That's
I'm
powerful.
just saying, I never expect
Yes,
the devil. I never expect the devil to do right.
Absolutely.
So whatever you out there doing, however filthy it is or whatever, you can come with all these sob stories. You know what you're doing. You know what happens. I don't feel sorry for either of them at all. I don't care. You got different. Think about the different perspectives. Miss Annie has a complete different perspective that she brought into the conversation.
Yes.
What color is she or whatever? Real men don't care nothing about color.
Exactly.
Not real ones.
Mm-hmm.
They have what they want. And she wanted him just as much as he wanted her.
They want
and
a
that's
buffet.
what happened.
They want that buffet.
That's what has happened to every man that got together, hooked up, and slept with a woman unprotected. Y'all make a baby. That's the issue, trying not to get a baby or not get a disease and still do whatever you want.
Absolutely. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, like I said earlier, man, it's an indictment on the culture that we live in now. The atmosphere, the temperature of society, not just American culture, but world culture.
Work exactly.
See, the powers that be, the ones that actually dictate the media, they control pretty much what we have access to or what is beamed out to the public. They have created an atmosphere that people call YOLO. You only live once. And when you only live once, it's subliminally that's telling you whatever your heart desires or you're curious about, try it.
Mm-hmm.
You only get one chance to live to see what it's like. Try it. Try it. Now, it's one thing to be ambitious, but it's another thing to be so impulsive. See, Tristan Thompson is impulsive.
Mm-hmm.
Future is impulsive.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll say anything. They don't care how much sense it makes. Yeah, they got money. They got a platform. They get on TMZ and they can talk to the celebrities and they can have 5 different women a night. They can try to break Wilt Chamberlain's record. But at the same time, they're impulsive and somewhere they ain't mature.
Mm-hmm.
So they fish their mouths and say the first thing that comes to their mind. Man, she just trying to get some money out of me. I'll get that wench $75,000.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man, that don't make no sense what you're saying. Well, they ain't listening to you. You ain't got the money that they got. They got money and they know something. See, that's another thing society does. When you got money, you must know something.
You got to be smart. Yeah. Intelligent.
Leonard said something key earlier. See, we society is impulsive. Then we lack discernment. Because he said something very true. We shouldn't be surprised. Women are supposed to look for men that can provide for them and take care of a child. If that man want a child. See, it's still up to that man. You might pick a man that can provide for a child, but he don't. Because he ain't no good.
Come on.
He got all the wealth in the world. Look at Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy, he could take care of 1,000 children. But he didn't want to take care of that one. He didn't even want to be in his life. Okay, she mine. I don't want nothing to do with her, though. But come on, man. You don't want this girl to have all the access to things that you have. This is your bloodline. This is your daddy granddaughter. I don't want nothing to do with her because I ain't want to have no baby with her. Oh, but you was being impulsive.
Exactly.
Well, I get what was a nice scary spice. What made you get with Eddie Murphy? Well, he's Eddie Murphy. Yeah, just the name itself let you know all the positives that come with him. Well, why did you have a baby with Future? You know he had 7 more baby mamas. You heard how he done did Sierra. You heard how he tried to bash that good man that's been taking care of his son. The name after him he don't take care of. Why you have a baby with him? Because he's Future. And he can provide everything that a child and a woman would need. But he won't. And 9 times out of 10, he probably won't want a child with you. So you got to have some type of discernment. When you put those things first and leave character out, then you have an issue with people only living once. See, this is a big opportunity.
Yes.
To have the finer things in life. To have access to privilege and luxuries. All these different things that the rich and powerful people have. This is their opportunity. And they hope they get pregnant this time. Little do they know, he didn't want no baby with them. But everybody's agenda was so screwed up and out of order that this is what the situation is. Because they was going in for the wrong reasons, out of order. So she looking for somebody that she can be with, that can do anything for her that she wanted, that her heart desire, but she don't know he don't want to be with her like that. She lucky she don't end up like Ray Caruth in a Ray Caruth situation.
Exactly. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
I'm kind of in the same boat. I to me it don't race ain't really got a whole lot to do with it because it happens across the board. It really does. Like there is no one race that does it more than the other. It's across the board. This is a problem that's everywhere. Well, I wouldn't can't really. There's at least one person doing it somewhere on the planet, on some other continent, somewhere. So, and to it to bring up what race she was
Mm-hmm.
actually bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, that sounds like some hatred, judgment.
It wasn't. I don't think it was intended that way.
No, given where things are nowadays, people are always talking about race. People are always talking about all kinds of things of that nature. Um, and it's to me, the core of it is the kid's probably going to be brought up without their dad. And
Mm-hmm.
apparently, he doesn't want nothing to do with it.
Absolutely.
So the
Which is
mother has to
which
make
is
a
unfortunate.
choice of
Mm-hmm.
how they're going to implement teaching that child that dad's not there.
Mm-hmm.
When hopefully the child's going to get brought up in some kind of a community to have at least some kind of father figure in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which a lot of times eh, there's a very slim chance of that happening. So one of the things that like my brain's focused on is the community aspect, because all this stuff boils down to where our communities are mentally at,
Mm-hmm.
of what.
What we also got to deal with is there's certain cancers that are in the community that leads us that continuously lead us in situations like this. There's some elements in the community, man, that are not good.
Then people need to come together and weed that stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
It's the community that allows it to stay in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. We got Jamie. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Doing well, sir. Peace and blessings be unto you all.
Hey, peace and blessing to you as well, man. We're talking about Tristan Thompson. You probably know him, the basketball player. You probably know or heard of him. He was with the Kardashian young lady, and why they were separated, he got with this other young lady and got her impregnated her. Told her that she's not gonna have a payday off of him. You're not gonna have a payday, and say that I'm about to retire from the league. You're not gonna get nothing but an unemployment man's pay for this child. He said, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna offer you $75,000 right now. Go and have an abortion. In essence, he's telling this young lady to go and kill this child for $75,000.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie, what is wrong with that, brother?
Well, first of all, it sounds like some business deal, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the way he's presenting it in a sense. But there's a life there, and that
Mm-hmm.
life is was of the utmost importance. And the way you worded that, it is reality to a degree. There are people who look at the complications, as he made mention. He looked at that as a financial investment. And in the world
Mm-hmm.
of finance, you can decide, that's not going to work out for me. I just think I'll just, call it quits at this point. And that makes sense. But when you're looking at an issue that involves life and unfortunately his future, as well as the potential child's future, all of that matters. So it isn't just
Mm-hmm.
about money. There's more to this equation. And
Absolutely.
unfortunately, as they say, the love of money is the root of evil. And
Mm-hmm.
it sounds he has a lot more concern about his money than he does about this child. And
Mm-hmm.
the sad thing would be that if he's correct, that she's no less concerned with the child than she is with the money. So that becomes one of those issues there that of great concern, and it deals with values as opposed to value of
Mm-hmm.
money. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of things to be considered.
Hey, there's a lot. There's so many layers. There's so many layers tied into this thing. Toy, you with the T Talk to me. Charles, coming to you next. Toya, you there?
Huh?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just crazy how we do things. I was as people were talking, I was thinking about what would make you want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, be in that situation. I thought about witchcraft. I thought about them Kardashian girls and witchcraft, honey. That energy, that power. I thought about just how we're raised culturally, right? Being raised by a mother, and your mother telling you, "Oh no, be taking care of no girls. You don't even know that." You know what I'm saying? You're just doing it because you raised to be that way, I guess. There's so many variables to help someone formulate how they're gonna be. But at the end of the day, I can't help but think that it's still operating out of hurt and pain. Not having a father yourself. We talk about 14% being an household, not having a father yourself. Maybe you don't want to be a disappointment. Maybe something in the background. Keep in mind when we hear these things on TV, on news and stuff like that, it's for entertainment. They hype it up, they juice it up, they twist it up, they lie it up, they do all this. And deep down, honey, that boy probably ain't even really even going through all that. It probably was misconstrued, or it could be induced for hype. You know what I'm saying? Either way it goes, the image that we're portraying as humans is a poor image. Even if it is just for money, even if it is just for entertainment, whether you're a man or a woman, if we are encouraging, condoning, and giving energy to individuals that are doing these things and nobody's being honest with them, telling them the truth, you know what I'm saying? Then we all fail. Because this is not just about stars. Broke people going around doing this too. Have 6, 7, 8 of them living in projects.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want my own project like my mom and them. Oh, the more babies I have get more food stamps. So this is not just a rich thing. This is a moral thing.
Yeah.
So, again, until we human beings, man or woman, get back in focus and back in line with our spirits, man, on what the right thing to do is, we won't be persuaded as a woman to be with a man that does not have the best intentions for you, and vice versa. Had you slept with that woman and it's been a disease instead of a baby, it would have been the woman's fault? Really? I mean, I'm just trying to get this. I'm just trying to get it straight.
Yeah.
So the woman, had it been a disease, it'd have been the man's fault. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just really trying to get where we are throwing off the responsibility to someone else instead of assuming responsibility for your action and prevent it. Now, whether he lied, because men, y'all like us 15 seconds until you get the booty, and then once we actually give it to you, you change your mind about everything you said. You pull up to my girl, I'll marry you. Give me your social security card and phone number and birthday. As soon as I give it to you, you change your mind.
Wow.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, had she been that gullible or believed it or was in the moment and that happened, then now what? You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. I guess God know I got it, because if you ask me, is you pregnant now? I swallow Eminem. We ain't married. I'm not finna just assume you want no baby. By the time you see me, you're like, well, you got a kid, you're going to have to count something up, man. Because when it comes to what we do in this world, we play games with ourselves. And we wind up digging ditches for ourselves, and they always want to go back and blame it on somebody else. When if we just did what God told us to do, we wouldn't even be there in the first place.
Exactly. Now she said a smaller Eminem. Lord, my Jesus. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
I thought you said Charles was next.
No, we lost Charles. Charles on the video. He's on the video side. I think he just got to work, so we lost him. So hopefully he'll be coming back before the broadcast's over.
Okay, so I don't know. I do put the responsibility goes to both people, but women need to care more about what they do with their body, because you will be the one. He ain't carrying no baby 9 months. That's on you.
Yes.
So then, to me, I would be more concerned about whether I was getting pregnant or not. And I hate to say this, there is no reason for anybody to have a baby that they don't want. And these days with rubbers, birth control pills, you ain't gonna tell me
The
Why
day
are you not using something
they got that what that thing called the day
unless
after
you
pill
make
or
the
something like
plan?
that. The day after pill or whatever you call it.
Come on,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. We ain't even got to go that far. You can use protection beforehand with birth control or rubber.
Mm-hmm.
And these women ain't doing nothing because it is what they want. They want to get pregnant by a man.
Mm-hmm.
That's poor men and men with money.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
it's pathetic. Now, if you have a baby and it wasn't planned, you know what I'm saying. If you
Yeah.
really you took precautions and stuff, that's something different. But if you laying down unprotected with the man, that means you expecting something can happen.
Mm-hmm.
And with gold diggers, they want something to happen. So they
Mm-hmm.
don't give it to them all night long, and all day long,
Mm-hmm.
because
Wow.
they know their plans. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's sorry, it's pathetic. I'm sorry, it's pathetic.
Wow. Leonard.
Yes, sir. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
Man,
Cassandra has spoken. What do you want?
See, Cassandra has spoken. That's it. That's it. That's the gospel. I want to hear what's on your heart, brother, and then we're gonna catapult into our topic for the day, and we're gonna talk about that as well, which actually kind of lines up with what we've been talking about the whole time. But what's on your heart right now, man? There's so many different layers tied into this thing, and who's to say who's right and who's wrong? Who's to say?
Like I said, I didn't think it was a contest.
Mm-hmm.
It's these people's business, not mine. I don't,
Mm-hmm.
I do the best I can to stay out of trouble. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
he giving us 75,000. I done call the people and ask them how much it costs and carried you down there. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ain't had to be about no 75. It
Mm-hmm.
be about 400.
I
About
see.
400.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I am not. I believe in people using their power to in their best interest,
Mm-hmm.
not others like that way. When it comes to this is a personal issue. I mean, I couldn't even sit around and begin to tell you, who knows? Maybe some woman that I slept with unprotected was pregnant, never told me about it.
Mm-hmm.
That could very
Mm-hmm.
possibly be true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody could knock on my door right now and say, "You my daddy,"
Mm.
and none of
Oh.
us I would have never had a clue.
Mm-hmm.
But I would still, as a man, have to take care of my business,
Yeah.
where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
So it does not matter to me what this young man does or how he does it or whatever, the woman involved or whatever. I'm not their judge.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely don't care nothing about what rich people be doing like this. I'm not into that. Like I said before, this is about entertainment.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is about entertainment for the masses. But the
Mm-hmm.
way, I don't expect anything less or anything. It's just not that big of a deal to me. But I have seen where these people have been able to capitalize off of their celebrity, and that's all it is to me. Because I can
Mm-hmm.
understand why I would be concerned about why somebody else is pregnant or anything. I ain't
Mm.
get her pregnant. It ain't my business.
Mm.
It ain't your
And see,
business.
and see, my main thing is,
You sure?
Lord Jesus, Toy yourself, you sure?
Exactly like one. We always used to have that joke. If I say I heard
Mm-hmm.
your sister was pregnant, and my other friend, she would say, "Is it your baby?"
Mm.
Just to be sarcastic enough to
Yeah.
be like, "Them people gonna do what them people
Yeah.
want to do."
Mm-hmm.
Anybody, like I say, poor people do this every day. I don't,
Exactly.
rich people, poor people, everybody. When it comes to this, are kind of alike, unless
Mm-hmm.
you have a value system in place that prevents you from doing this, or you abstain from doing these types of things. Every
Mm-hmm.
man, and then we act as if these people had some type of committed relationship. How do you
Yeah.
know this? I mean, how would
Mm-hmm.
you know how these people live other than the fact that you're sitting on the other side of a screen watching it?
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Jamie, I see you got a look on your face, brother. Like you got some thoughts. And what's on your head before we go to our topic?
Well, Leonard just hit it on the end there. There's a moral issue that comes into play, which we haven't, until he said that, I wasn't hearing it, and that was kind of bothersome. When you say that these are celebrities, and with everybody having the eye for the one-eyed monster, there's a lot of things that get implanted in our mind, subconscious, and we find ourselves, those things play out because somebody else is acting them out. So one of the biggest issues here, if I was getting ready to transition to the next portion, I would just say, which I'm about to say now, if that individual or those individuals had withheld the vitals until such time as they were married, they wouldn't have this issue because they wouldn't have slept together. So,
Mm-hmm.
when you go and do things like that, be rubbers break, condoms breaks, if you get to the point where you have the right mindset, these won't even be discussions that you'll be caught up in.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be a perfect. We got two callers that just called in. Callers, we're going to come to you in just 1 second. We're going to segue into our topic for today, which is kind of similar or close to what we've been talking about. Let me see. I completely agree with everyone. What everyone is saying, especially Leonard and Minister Jamie. Okay, good deal. Our topic today, what we're talking about, is touchless love. Touchless love. Is it possible? Is it possible in this day and time? Do you think it's possible? How realistic is it in this day and time to think that two adults could get together and have a relationship and not get into that horizontal mumble before their marriage and be totally in love with each other, touchless,
Absolutely.
touchless, touchless love?
I
Is it
have
possible?
several relationships like that.
I can remember one. I can remember one in my whole life of living. I can remember one where we didn't. But anyway, let me go to Rico. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Touchless love. Is it possible?
That should be first. That should be first. I mean, you should learn to bond and love this person before you actually even start having sex with them.
Mm-hmm. In the
Before
perfect
you
world.
start, before you become intimate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it goes back to the conversation we were having, like you just said. A lot of people are having the lust, thinking that that's part of the love issue,
Mm-hmm.
and they're touching each other
Mm-hmm.
because the physical contact between lust and love is a real thin line between that. You're still
Mm-hmm.
going through the same act. It's just a matter of where you are in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't love this person before you touch them, then the possibility that you're gonna love them afterwards might be manipulated or influenced
Mm-hmm.
just by the fact that the way that y'all like to touch each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Exactly.
mean, yeah, I do think it's possible. It should, like I said, to me, it should be the first thing. You should know whether or not you want to be with this person for the rest of your life
Mm-hmm. That's
before you
good.
touch them in that way.
That's good.
But I hate to go back, man, but I think we skipped something with Cassandra said.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with when she said that about she think that was more responsibility. The woman should be more vigilant about
Mm-hmm.
not being in a situation like that, even though it does take two to tango. Your original topic was about the abortion and him wanting to pay her to get rid of the baby.
Yes.
And I think Roe versus Wade came up, and
Mm-hmm.
Jamie said something big. If we were living right, we wouldn't have these conversations. I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking about that when I first called in. I was like, man, if we were in order, some of these conversations we're having wouldn't exist. We talking
Exactly.
about, what I'm saying, getting rid of babies and paying money. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's starting to be a little bit too normal. But
Mm-hmm.
there are things that a woman goes through when she has that baby or when she becomes pregnant. First off, that's the reason why they give her the right to have an abortion,
Mm-hmm.
because a woman can lose her life in the middle of birth and a man doesn't have to deal with that. So therefore, it is more important to me for a woman to be more accountable for who she sleeps with. Now, if it comes breaks, like everybody said, that's one thing. But when you are laying down with these men and not really understanding if they want to have children with you or if they're going to be good fathers, if they're going to go around and have 7 or 8 more children on you, deadbeats or whatever, that's just the minor part of it. You might get pregnant by this man and not even come out of the delivery. That man don't have to do that. He can go get 9 women pregnant, and while
Mm-hmm.
you laying up here trying to have a baby and about to lose your life, he out drinking in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pony rat or something. You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
I
exactly.
mean, so there are numerous issues and numerous reasons why a woman should be more particular about who she's laying down with because of the possibility that she might have all this stuff that she has to go through once she becomes pregnant that that man don't have to go through.
Wow, that's good. Curtis, good morning. How you doing this morning? Curtis, you there?
Hey, how's it going? How's it going, big brother?
Hey,
What's
going
going
good.
on with you?
Hey, going good, going good. Asking the question, man, touch this love. Is it possible? Is it possible for two people to really be together, love each other, and never touched each other in that mature adult way? Is it possible?
Yeah, it's possible.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me.
It absolutely is. I mean, it absolutely is. I mean, we would love to buy into some folks, and let me correct that. Some folks would love to buy into the fact that it ain't just because of man's primitive nature and our perversions, our perversional thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it is absolutely possible. I know people who have had a touchless love
Mm-hmm.
kind of relationship. I've had some where, I had the utmost love for a particular person, but I did not want to touch them.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Me and my
Curtis,
ex-wife.
let me ask you this without getting too deep into your business, man. Was it tough? Was the situation tough?
No, it's not tough. Comes down to choices. Me and my ex-wife have a touchless love relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I love her to death. You understand? If one of them boyfriends or whatever do something wrong to her, I'm gonna check him.
Mm-hmm.
Period. No ifs and buts about it.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not having physical relationships.
Okay. Okay.
Nah, it's not tough at all. Cause what happens is if you really thinking about it, right? You really love this person. Then you thinking about the bond and the relationship that y'all have. You're not thinking about the physical aspect of that relationship. You're thinking
Mm-hmm.
about, this is really my friend. This
Yeah.
is really my associate. And you think about how much you value their friendship
Mm-hmm.
over the physical aspect of humanity. You know what I mean? So, you know, okay, if we go there, it's going to destroy what we have, and what we have is 10 times greater.
Good deal.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
possible. I know people that have touchless love relationships, and it's possible. I mean, the perversions of man, though, say that it ain't.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal.
Which
Let me go to Cassandra. Cassandra, what do you say to that? Do you think it's possible in this day and time and the climate that we're in right now? Is it possible to have for two people to have that touchless love?
Yes, I believe that we can. And it just takes two people that care more about the person than the physical. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that there are people like that. And for me, the person would have to be like that in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
until we get married. That's just my bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to believe in it personally.
Okay. Okay. That's good. Jamie, what do you say to that? In this day and time that we're living in this climate, how possible is it, or is it possible at all?
Raheem, it's definitely possible. And I used the
Mm-hmm.
word value earlier. If I could share a personal moment. When I was in high school, there was this young girl that I was dating. I was young as well. And, growing up, my neighbors being older, watching them, getting their little feel and all that, I'm doing the same thing, not really knowing anything other than my hormones are stirring. And this young lady wrote me a note, and it said something along the lines: if I didn't ask her for sex, she'd give me her allowance. And
Mm-hmm.
believe it or not, I did something stupid. I felt so embarrassed that I just broke it off without any conversation. And
Mm-hmm.
today, if there was ever a person I wish that I could even have a moment to communicate with, it's that person. So I carry her in my heart today.
Mm-hmm.
Never touched her, even regretting the fact that I did. So I know that if given that moment again, that I could do that without it because I know what she meant. And I know the thought more so than the significance of the touch now. But that's one
Mm-hmm.
of those value things that we have to somehow impart because not everybody knows that. And it's a war. If those desires are there, you just aren't going to be touchless because there's a thought
Mm-hmm.
of a possible child. There's many children when people knew and they was going to go over the edge. There's a greater love, a greater respect that's required to have that type relationship, and it's not the norm.
Mm-hmm. No, no, not at all. Not at all. Toy, you want to see talk to me? It says we talking about a touchless love. Is it in this day and time in the climate that we're living in right now with the high everybody want to do this, everybody want to do that, and he's jumping off chandeliers and doing all kind of things. Toya,
What?
is it possible?
That? What kind of touching is you talking about? Touching, bro? What kind of love is you talking about? Let me just ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
I know I love y'all on this show, but that don't mean y'all love me.
Mm-hmm. We love
But
you.
just with me saying that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask you. You don't love me, Raheem? You don't love me, Rico? Me and Leonard had a lot of static, so he might just now be getting to love me. But still, ain't none of us never touched
Yeah.
each other at all. We barely was in the same room.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, like, what are we correlating love with? Are we correlating love with sex? Or are we correlating love with love? Because love doesn't necessarily mean anything about a touch.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just know. You don't have to be around that person. You know when someone loves you and what they do for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more than just sex. They love you even if they can't touch you. They
Mm-hmm.
can't touch you. They do anything to touch you again. And it don't have to be in a sexual way. It's just to be in your presence, in your spirit, and be touched by that. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So I need to get a clear understanding on what kind of
Wow. That and see a person listening in. I hope they didn't miss what she
we've been
just
on
said.
this show with each other.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, Toy. You went
We
out.
done been on this show with each other. I was saying we done been on this show with each other 2 or 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and over that time have developed strong feelings of love for each other that has nothing to do with sexual. So
Absolutely.
absolutely, this whole team on this show is a prime example on how people can love each other touchlessly
Mm-hmm.
before Corona.
That's good. That's good. And what I was about to say, man, I hope people listening in did not miss what she just said. That was absolutely powerful. What she just said, man. She put that was good. That was very good. Jamie, you said you wanted to respond to what she just said, and after that, Leonard, come to you.
Yeah, I did. And that's interesting because it's along the same lines as what Kurt just said about his ex-wife, which I saw more in the vein of how it's defining. But maybe like Toya stated, maybe we want to address that word because my thought would be the fact that we haven't touched each other and we've been on this show. The reality is also many of us have not been in each other's presence.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
to talk what we're talking about now, when you use statements like that, or we you know, can't get to certain things, we aren't tried by them. So when you
Mm-hmm.
ask the question, is it possible? That goes, what's where the layers come in at. It might be the wind blow a certain direction, all of a sudden now her upper body is looking a little different than it does any other time. So there's a lot of things that come into play that mingles with that. When you get into the relationship aspects, friends, we're to love everybody. So yeah, that's one thing. But when you get to the point where it's someone you might feel affectionate toward, I
Mm-hmm.
still say minus those values, minus someone having been instilled with the knowledge that we now have, that's a process that has been ongoing and will continue. We need to realize the significance and the challenge of that. Unless you give the person something that's going to counter, it's like a counterweight. Unless
Mm-hmm.
there's something to counter that lust or counter that desire, it may not be there early on, but the more you're in someone's presence, the more challenging that's going to be. So it has to
Mm-hmm.
be something there. And that
Okay.
something isn't just the fact that it's distance, because the moment that distance gone, then becomes the real reality. That's
Good
when the
deal.
question becomes relevant.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, like I say, the majority of my relationships have been like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've been married the majority of my adult life.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have women who have stayed at my place before and things of that nature that we don't have a sexual relationship at all. They're just friends.
Mm-hmm.
They're just friends that I just love dearly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also about self-control for me.
Yeah.
I mean, like say for instance, as a married man, there are plenty of beautiful women walking around every day. You don't ignore that these women are beautiful, but I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure you just don't run over and start hunching.
Lord Jesus.
Come on now, you're a human being.
Mm-hmm.
You have a higher sense
Not
of
you.
reasoning. You have a higher sense of reasoning than that. There
Mm-hmm.
are some women who have even wondered why I have not or did not do that with them,
Mm-hmm.
because I just don't want the problems
Yeah.
that'll go with that. I don't want the commitment that goes with that and misunderstandings and things of that nature. I'm very clear up front with women about what it is that I want.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no reason for me to mislead anybody or anything like that. But the majority of my relationships are loving relationships. The people whom I really value and would do anything for.
Mm-hmm.
That I that it we don't have that type of relationship.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and think about it. Do you love your male friends?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sleeping with them,
No.
you know. So I'm controlling myself there. Why wouldn't I be able
Mm-hmm.
to control myself other ways?
Mm-hmm. See, see, and the thing about that is, there's certainly, without me even having to clarify, there's a difference there. Um, a lot of time is, I think a lot of that goes into, much like you said, the lack of discipline. When it comes to, like, if you have this attraction for this young lady, or this young lady have this attraction for the young man, they don't exercise the discipline that it would take to not cross that bridge or not cross that hurdle, and so they find themselves, they find the situation a little more complicated than what it should be.
Really,
I,
is it complicated?
yeah, yeah,
You just put
complicated.
it in. You just
Yeah,
put
it
it
could
in.
be.
It's not that complicated.
Okay. Oh no, no.
Not really.
Look,
It's really
where
complicated,
is
is
Leonard's mute
Toya.
button?
It ain't really that complicated.
Look, where is Leonard's mute button? Lord Jesus, let me find it. Know it's around here somewhere. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
I don't know if I should have called or not.
No, oh my goodness, we going left right now. Let's go. Come on,
Yeah,
I'll be
but
over here in the corner. I'll be over in the
look,
corner
no,
waiting on my man right there.
hey, look here, no signal light or nothing. He's just gonna make that left turn. But Toussaint, good morning. How you doing this morning? Lord.
Best that can be.
Look at here, man. We're talking about touchless love in this climate, in this day and time. Is it possible to have touchless love? You could be attracted to this young lady. Is it possible for these two people to have a touchless relationship, falling madly in love with each other without doing a horizontal mumble? What do you say to that?
Sure.
Mm.
And I have some ocean property.
There you go. There you go.
There go that turn. There go that turn.
There you go. He's coming.
Okay.
I got some free alligator, but you got to go catch them yourself. Barehanded.
Barehanded.
Barehanded. How about let's go get some crocodile meat today? We're gonna slap alligator. We're gonna slap gorillas.
Lord, my Jesus.
Matter of fact, if you really want to get down to it, and you want to get down to the real nitty gritty,
the nitty gritty,
let's approach Toya with that kind of foolishness.
Uh-oh. Lord. Cassandra, what's wrong with you, brother?
I'm not. I have
Right.
nothing to say.
My 3 minutes are up.
Your 3 minutes are up. Rico, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think what Jamie said was, pretty much clear. We don't want to get love confused with definitely meaning sex.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I sort of said that earlier. That there's a thin line between love and lust. And if you actually look for attractiveness or sexual attraction first, there's a good possibility that you are looking through lustful eyes instead of looking from a place of love. I can say in my lifetime, man, I met 3 women. And when I tell you, man, these women were some knockouts.
Mm-hmm.
Knockouts. I mean, these were the type of women that I met them and I was like, man, I can't believe she attracted to me. I feel like she's out of my league.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and don't get me wrong, when I tell you bad knockouts, they had to be sexually attractive on the eyes.
Exactly.
But the last thing on my mind was that.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing on my mind was sex. It was a feeling I couldn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
To be that intrigued and I guess what you want to say, captivated.
Yeah. Yeah.
By these women, just who they were, what they were doing with themselves, how classy they were. That was one of the things that really got me, the class and the kindness.
Mm-hmm.
It was totally out of my element. They were completely opposite than the women from the Blue Flame I was messing with.
Mm-hmm.
They were completely opposite from the women out here on the street that I was just having all my fun with. I made myself a nickname. But when I got around them, not only did I not think about sex, but I didn't cuss every other word.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even intentional.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't intentional. Like sometimes people try to do things to impress people. They want to make that first impression. I wasn't thinking nothing about a first impression. It was just like natural.
Mm-hmm.
I was seeing something come out of me that was totally different than what I had adapted myself into being. That person that liked to cuss every other word, or just feel like they want to get out here and just get as many panties from as they could. It was totally different with these women. And so, it dawned on me then that a person really can have a true, sincere love and respect for a person, woman or man. I guess if you like men, you can have a true, sincere respect for them and not think about the sex part of it at the least.
Mm-hmm.
It's surprising. I mean, it caught me off guard because when I tell you not most, every time before then, it was going to be sexual attraction first.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was very few people that I met that I was just like, man, you know what? I like her. She cool. She cute.
Mm-hmm.
She's smart. She nice.
Mm-hmm.
It was always about, ooh, she thick. She fine. She look good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just wanted to get notches on my belt.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I fooled myself. Sometimes I thought I really did like this person, but I was more sexually attracted to him than anything. And like Toya said earlier, once I got where I was going to get,
Mm-hmm.
after a while, I started seeing the true side of them, and I was like, well, I ain't got to hang around here no way. She don't wore out her welcome with me.
Yeah.
But these 3 women, man, never had a thought about sex with them. And it was so odd, but at the same time, it was refreshing. Because I knew then that love could exist.
Yeah.
Without you having sexual agendas.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good.
Amen.
We got since look, we got the amen corner. Since we got the amen corner, Toyota T, I got to come to you, sister. What's on your heart? Curtis, come to you next. What's on your heart, Toya?
No, that's real deal.
Yes, yes.
Again, we got to talk about culture.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Culture makes it seem like you got to get something out of a person to be in love, and that's not the case. I genuinely love people.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I love to help. I will go out of my way. But culture teaches me, oh, well, you can't trust everybody. Oh, you can't let everybody in the house. Oh, well, you can't do this, that, and the third. So now I'm more apprehensive the next time around.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Because culture has taught me, well, you can't trust everybody like that, especially men. You
Yeah.
can't trust them just because they tell you you cute, you whatever, whatever, whatever. Because human beings can always have another agenda.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, just look at a mother and a child if that's the case. Like that's why I said, explain to me what kind of touchless you're talking about. Because a parent and a child is a touchless relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Even though there are mother-parent relationships that are misconstrued, where parents literally touch their children.
Mm.
But you know what I'm saying? Still, the premise on what a parental relationship, a sibling relationship, even a God on human relationship. It's not
Mm-hmm.
about physical touch. It's about the spirit of knowing that person is there, knowing they love you, knowing they're there for you, knowing they cheer you on. Sometimes you don't need nothing from your parent. Just
Mm-hmm.
cheer you on and believe in you. You can't even see that.
Come on.
And you'll get up and you'll go work 17 jobs and you're going to do your best because you feel the love. You know the love. You don't want to let them down because of the love that is thriving within you. It isn't
Mm-hmm.
until betrayal comes that now, oh, we got to be skeptical. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
well, if I'm going to buy you something to eat, and if I'm going to feel happy about you and want to buy you something, then I got to get sex in return or something in return. When
Look.
there's nothing wrong with loving a person, the
Mm.
wrong thing is to be abused when you love them. The abuser is the one that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The one that touched you wrongly and out of order is the one that's wrong. So, oh,
Exactly.
R. Kelly telling them girls, but I love them. I
Mm.
gave them everything. I didn't do anything by force or will. I didn't do this, that, and the third. But he loved them. That's still not enough for us.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
still not enough for us. You
Buy
understand what I'm saying? So again,
buy a girl
I
drink in
got
the
to know
club.
what kind of love we talking about.
Buy a girl drink in the club. You think you own her for the night. Lord Jesus, where in the world that come from? Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Kurt, you there?
Yeah, I'm right here, bro. I had to hit my mute button.
Yes, sir. Talk to me.
I mean, for me, man, sometimes I think people have a false sense of what love is,
Mm-hmm.
because the reality of it, and I'm just going to go a little, I guess you can say movie type. The reality of love is to have it. The true reality of love and to understand it is to have it without touching.
Mm-hmm.
If you want the real feeling of love, is to have it without touching, to have it without it being uh, reciprocated.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even have to be reciprocated. You know what I mean? Um, Love is a powerful, powerful feeling that often, all too many times, we as human beings put a bunch of conditions on it,
Mm-hmm.
in which the reality of love has no conditions. You
Mm-hmm.
can't turn it on. Can some people, some human beings even think that they can control it. That's the biggest ball of yarn that you can put out there and will try and create in the
Mm-hmm.
mind of a human being, because you
Mm-hmm.
can't control love.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so powerful. It's so powerful
Mm-hmm.
that
Absolutely.
you can't turn it on, you can't turn it off, you can't stop it,
Mm-hmm.
you can't, you know, you can't. I don't understand some people. I just don't. I never did. I probably never will.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then people get mad when they experience what true love is. And one of the things that I notice in this day and time is, you know, when you think in terms of buy you a drink, and I own you for the night. You got some women out here that truly believe that if they stroke, you supposed to love them.
Mm-hmm.
And most times, the physical aspect of adult relationships, I hate to say it, but you gotta call a spade a spade. Love ain't nowhere in there.
Exactly, exactly. Good deal, good deal. And that's where people get mixed up at. That's where people get mixed up and confused. Cassandra, let me ask you this: do most people understand? Do most people understand love? And because some people are confused and think they have to tie it together. If we're not doing this, then we're not in love. If we're not touching, we're not in love. Or if you're not touching me a certain way, we're not in love. Cassandra, what do you say to that?
Yeah, that is a misconception that has plagued, I think, a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
especially in today's society, how people look at love and everything is associated with sex.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So what happens is we've forgotten what love can be and should be, which is that connection, that spiritual connection between two people,
Mm-hmm.
because we're so caught up in, hold on, we're so caught up, yeah, we're so caught up in wanting the physical,
Mm-hmm.
that gratification, that immediate gratification, which is not what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
you know, for me, like I said, um, the love has to be a spiritual and emotional connection for me before it's a physical connection. That's
Mm-hmm.
just me.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's different, but
Absolutely.
that's what I look for.
Good deal. Jamie, what's on?
Raheem, I'm
Yes.
getting ready to step into my doctor's appointment, so I'm
Okay.
going to be out going off now. Okay.
Okay. Appreciate you, Cassandra. Call if you need me now.
Alrighty.
Jamie.
Yes, sir. I want to address something my sister just said, and hopefully it'll benefit someone. I found in my life that you can actually get beyond the physical aspects of a woman because all it takes is one good reality or one C, a significant emotional event. And then
Mm-hmm.
you realize that the bump back there, the bumps up front, that you better start looking for a little bit more than that.
Mm-hmm.
But she said something that's significant about spirituality. One of the most, this is just my way of looking at it, one of the most challenging experiences or relationships for someone. And if you don't have some type views or values, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. It's when you
Mm-hmm.
run into a woman with the bumps, but also has spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
Because when people come together, we're talking about friends and all that. Most people that are able to get into a person's space, they're able to do that because, believe it or not, we empower them. If we got these friends and touchless relationships that may start out as that, and you're telling the person all your business, it's only a matter of time before they know how to touch you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you run into situations like that, even if you've gotten beyond just the physical aspects, a woman that presents with both or a man that presents with both presents an even greater challenge. So that's why it goes back to the individual. You got to get
Mm-hmm.
those values in check because the things you're going to run into, it's going to, if you, it's like Rico said, you may find this beautiful woman, and if you get past that, then there's going to be one a little bit more beautiful, and she's going to have a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more. That's kind of the way life and temptation goes. If you don't fall for A, we got a B. We got them
Yeah.
all the way up
Yeah.
to a Z. So you
Mm-hmm.
you you got to realize it's going to be an ongoing thing. You can say it can be your standard, but just know that your standard is going to be challenged on every aspect. And the portion I said about the woman that presents with both, it isn't that she's coming at you because she has both. Just the things that two people have certain attractions. It has to be that value system if you're going to have be able to maintain a relationship or friendship or whatever you want to call it with someone that you know that you're attracted to. This woman got everything that you wish you, I would say wish, but if you had met her before you married, that'd probably be the one you'd married to. There are people that
Mm-hmm.
you're going to meet like that. but you got to have the
Exactly.
confidence in where you are and what you have, and that way you can respect that relationship and handle it in the appropriate manner.
Mhm. Leonard, how much maturity does an individual have to have that touchless love relationship?
Well, like I say, I think it depends on the person, on a person, and what their goals are.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly, you know that a lot of times most people can't control themselves enough to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, it's a
Mm-hmm.
discipline issue. I
Yes, it
had a
is.
certain practice
Mm-hmm.
associated with it. So I practiced that until I became very good at it. And I got good at loving the fact that I could say no. That's the
Mm.
power.
Mm-hmm.
I changed that to say, okay, I'm going to reward myself every time I say no, till it became a habit.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing, first of all, the first thing is one, I never wanted a woman to have that much control over me. That's what.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not on that side of the coin. As much as I love the things that Rico say, they sound very romantic, but that's his point of view.
Mm-hmm.
I was nothing like that at all. I
Mm.
was more about discipline and not making mistakes. So in order to not make those mistakes, I had to do something. Like, I've never had a quote girlfriend or anything like that because I'm not
Mm-hmm.
into other people controlling me that way. So most of my relationships, I'm pretty much, if you're not if that person, you know it up front.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, so it was never a big deal. But I've spared myself a lot of BS
Mm-hmm.
by not being this serial relationship type person. Oh, you in love with everybody you meet. You
Wow.
got to move in with everybody you meet.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere you go, you leave a baby. That's how everybody know where you been.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to be that person.
Exactly.
So I had to really say no,
That's right.
even when like my mother used to say, just because a woman trying to give you some or whatever, don't mean she cared nothing about you.
Mm-hmm.
See, I was raised by a very conscientious woman, and she was about protecting women, and she would have no qualm about telling any female,
Mm-hmm.
don't be his fool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what you're
Wow.
gonna wind up, a fool.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Wow. Let me go to Toussaint. And Toussaint, I want to ask you this question. We talk about this all the time, man. How much of a weakness is it that us men have when it comes to a big butt, baby hair, and a smile?
Why you gotta put your baby hair in there? Baby hair ain't
Why
all
you,
that
why
attractive,
you,
Raheem.
why, why you want to come? Why you want to come to me with that?
Come on, God,
Hey,
'cause
Jamie, he didn't ask you that, Jamie.
uh-uh,
It's
uh-uh.
kind of like unfair.
look
That's
here.
bias.
Look. I know you can handle it, brother. Let's handle it. Knock, I pissed him
Yeah, I
off.
can handle it. No, but I mean, well, I'm joking, clown. What I've learned in
Hmm.
my lifetime. How you said that? How did you describe them?
Big butt, baby hair, and a smile. Come on, now. Let him know baby hair look good. Big
Trouble,
butt, baby hair, and a
trouble,
smile.
trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for trouble.
Mm-hmm.
If that's all you see,
Mm-hmm.
you in trouble. Your
Mm-hmm.
mindset is toe up. You gonna be toe up because some of them ain't even a woman.
Oh.
Somebody.
Oh, you don't do something in there now. Oh Lord. Jamie had to sit back on that one. James said, oh Lord.
Preach, preacher. I'm with you when you're white, preacher. Preach.
Oh Lord.
I mean, seriously, man. I've seen some makeup videos
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
that the before and after.
Yeah.
And I mean, you got to be kidding me. That's that what you about to take home?
Mm.
You can put teeth in. You can fix eyelashes and eyebrows. You can even change eye color, and you can buy a butt
Yes,
and a breast.
sir.
Lord, Lord,
So how
Lord.
that's working out for you?
Yes, sir.
We
We,
don't learn. See, we don't learn people, and we don't try to grow into anything.
mm-hmm.
The first thing we see, we say, "Oh my gracious.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes downhill from there. But when you try to find out what's in their heart,
Yeah, yeah. Come on.
you didn't think I would go there, right?
No, I didn't see that because you was talking about buying all kind of body parts. You went okay. Go ahead, brother. You going somewhere?
I mean, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But when you say, okay, hi, how are you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and start from there. You know, they already know. You know, I ain't gonna go to the point now, but when I was coming up, you already know. Well, let's start this conversation with a glass of water.
Mm-hmm.
How that's look. You know, because it depends. Oh, you know, hey, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to get. First of all, we're not trying to be givers. We're trying to be takers.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're a taker in a relationship, your relationship is going to go downhill just
Mm-hmm.
as fast as I can ever describe it to you.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Absolutely.
give,
Mm-hmm.
and I promise you, if you try to just give in a relationship, the relationship will build into something.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Wow.
might not never turn out to be intimate or
Mm-hmm.
sexual,
Mm-hmm.
rather.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I must throw this out here, and I shut up. Who gets into a marriage without them intentions?
Mm. That's good. That's good.
When
Rico.
the last time did you married folks? When the last time you went months without saying, "Honey, that's okay. You'll
Mm.
be fine."
mm. Look. Mm. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Big butt, baby hair, and a smile. Are we weak? Oh, as men, are we sometimes weak to that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it goes back goes back to the first conversation.
Mm-hmm.
If people were listening, the majority of the population of children are only in 14% of a married household.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 14% of children in a married household. That means 80, 86% of children are in a household with only one parent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, something ain't right with that.
Absolutely.
People talk about trickle effect and cause and effect. There's a trickle and a cause behind this type of behavior. The reason why it is like this, because in the past, I think it was like in 1959, over half of the population were in homes that had a married couple.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's a decline, deterioration in the family unit. Because when people get together, they ain't thinking about families. The dude thinking about the big butt, the baby having a smile. And on the other side, the equivalent to that is the dude with the big bank, the big house, and the big car.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the big jump. But nothing about the character or the
Yeah.
integrity.
Exactly.
So, if those are the things, I'm going to say the requirements are the things that attract you. See, we caught up in a superficial world now.
Mm-hmm.
That term, fake it till you make it, that used to almost be equivalent to the never let them see you sweat
Mm-hmm.
motto. It was almost like, well, okay, you might not be feeling good, but don't let them know you ain't feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
Fake it.
Yeah.
Put
Yeah.
on a smile. That's what it
Mm-hmm.
meant. But now it's all about marketing. I heard on 60 Minutes last night. Do you know that this guy has when it came up with an old style of clothes that came back from the 60s? They've come from the 60s and made it fashionable again. He made Gucci up their profits all from his fashion line. They interviewed this man. He sounds as goofy as he want to be, but being that he's popular and famous now, they value what he says, even though he was saying a lot of ridiculous stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he actually went and bought some bootleg Gucci just to see how it felt, just for the heck of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now he is working for Gucci, designing clothes. Got his own line, and he going buying knockoffs. Now that word knockoff, a lot of people don't mind that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
in a society right now where people don't mind faking it till you make it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll buy the knockoff.
Exactly.
Look, they bootlegging themselves. Don't say it themselves. They get in the mirror and transforming themselves into somebody totally different. And when they take it off, they're gonna morph back into who they were. But we're so caught up in being superficial that we'll fall in love with them before we find out that they even had a mask on. Well, we'll think we fell in love with them. All because they got some good sense or big butt baby having a smile.
Exactly. Toy, you with a T, talk to me, sis. What's on your heart?
I mean, isn't that what we're taught though? Like, don't you teach your daughter to get the guy that takes care of you, or do you teach her to get the one that's gonna love you as a father? And what do we turn our daughters over? See, again, and being a woman is really hard, but I believe in the structure that God set forth. I believe in the structure that He set forth with man being the head for a reason. So I do believe that everything that we do as humans, as fathers, as men in the world, you have to always be on your up and up and teach your daughters about love. Because I just think this is a culture that's gotten out of control. Because if your daughter was dating somebody she really loved and he really loved her, and he didn't have a secure future, what you gonna tell her about love? Right. Okay. So now,
Love,
if you have a daughter,
love ain't paying
right,
no,
and you
love
teaching
ain't
her
paying no
about
rent.
love, but you not with her mama, what you teaching her about love though?
Old school to tell
Right.
you, love ain't never paid no bills. That's old school to tell
Yeah.
you.
Right. Absolutely. So why do we go for the guys with the bank then?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what you taught us. You know what I'm saying? That's what we learned. So I'm gonna go for the guy, and then I'm gonna put my little spin on it. So these are the things that we have to take into consideration and be honest about, right? We didn't have options when we first came from slavery. Oh, get you someone rich. No, get you somebody you love, because you have to work together and work to be better. But then we
Yes.
were also taught individual value, who you are as a woman without a man, and who you are as a man without a woman, and the purpose and the cause of the both of you. But again, along the way, we stopped teaching our daughters that fathers. We stopped teaching our sons that mothers. Stop teaching our sons. Okay, now if you get with her, you gotta take care of that child too, boy. What you mean? Like we've gotten away from those initial values, and with that being a key root on why our first examples of relationships, here we are again with touchless love. We've been taught and trained that this is the perception on how it is, and this is how we acting it out. So now it wasn't good enough for the other 84%. So the 16% doing what they saw, the 84% doing what they do. So when we multiply this world again, what percentage would that be next time?
Exactly.
So again, we all got to roll. We gotta play and just showing what real love is.
Got you. Good deal. Man, this man, we need to go about 2 more hours with this right here, man. But let me go right now to Curtis. Leonard shook his head no. Let me go to Curtis, and after that, Dawn, I'm coming to you. Kurt, what's on your heart, brother?
No, I really don't have too much, but I mean, I try my best to understand the importance of love and just how.
Curtis, let me step in 1 second, brother. And this may change your answer a little bit. Do you think in this day and time, do you think we really know and understand what real love is?
No, we don't. It's obvious that we don't, because if you pay attention, man, real love is what man has done is connected love to so many other items, so many other things, that they have gotten so far away from real love that the idea of it has become distorted. We have connected so many personal things that's beneficial to us as individuals that, in my opinion, in my honest opinion, man does not know how to love collectively anymore. He loves as an individual. And that's what's hurting more than anything. I mean, for your listening public, um, if you want to gain a greater understanding of what love is, it's going to sound crazy when I say it, but go on Google and type in Einstein's definition of love, letter to his daughter. And Einstein explains love in the most eloquent and universal way, scientifically. And he tells you, for those of you all who are scientists and listening, he tells you, he openly admits in this letter to his daughter that although we as a human society stand on E equals MC squared as one of the greatest formulas and or equations, definition of relativity, he says that after many moons and many years of study, E equals MC squared is wrong because it does not account for the power in the force of love.
Wow.
He said it does not account for it. And when you read it, and we talk about the recreation and we talk about all those things in terms of love, he basically kind of lays it out to you, the forces of love, that the force of love is in all things. It's you got to read it, man. When you get a chance to read it, I highly recommend you read it. I actually printed out a copy on some real slick resume paper that I'm good like put it up on my wall.
Okay,
but it's a powerful short read. It's only one page.
I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, when I read it, I just like, whoa. I had to reevaluate what I thought was love. You know what I mean?
Good deal. Let me go to I say I'm gonna go to Donna and Jamie. I know you say you had something as well. Donna, what's on your heart? Jamie, coming to you next.
I thought you said something that clicked in my mind. How you gonna tell your daughter to? I think something like that. I'm not trying to quote what you said, so don't jump me. How you gonna tell your daughter to stay with a man or be with a man or marry, and you're not with the mother? You know what? The worst thing you can do is tell your child that, oh Lord, I will get myself in trouble. But I've been there before.
You do it all the time, brother. Ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new, Leonard.
That your mama was crazy.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Oh
Lord.
say that. How that's gonna work out?
You don't call
now you trying to tell me to marry and I should be married and you ain't with mama. Well, your mama was crazy.
Lord,
but you left me with her? She crazy and you left me with her? Really?
See that what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? Now you with her every day and you in denial.
That doggone too soft, boy. That doggone. Lord
Jesus. You got to see it. You can't tell me you don't see it. But just because you got a new pair of tennis shoes, your mama all right. Now you know better than that.
That doggone.
Okay, I'm done.
Bye.
Okay, go ahead.
Lord, Jamie, I say I was coming to you next, man. Leonard, what we gonna do with your brother, man? What we gonna do with him? Go ahead, Jamie. Go ahead.
You know, Leonard and Toya made a great point with that exchange there, because that child, if educated, will be able to make better decisions than both the mother and the father. You know, we live in a society today where half of us that think we are sane may be considered insane. So whichever parent the child is with, and whatever reason they divorce, that was their relationship. The thing you want to teach the child is the values and the core values, so they'll be able to maintain their own relationship. I want to thank Rico for those statistics, because, you know, when you hear numbers like that, those are the things that actually impacts a person's action. We can go about things and see the problem sometimes, but there's nothing like when a person can paint a picture for you. But when I
Mm-hmm.
heard those numbers, I thought about myself in my youth. The biggest problem with that 86% is that some of us, we can't be in but one household. So we
Mm-hmm.
contributed to those statistics when we have children and by two different women. So when you look at those numbers and why they go up, those are something that we can probably bring down within a generation or two easily, but it goes back to those values. And unfortunately, someone asked the question earlier, what will it look like later? We don't tend to get better, we tend to get worse. But that goes back to the education issue, the values. As someone even used the term culture, there's some things that we need to see that need uprooting. You know, when we look at media now, and as you described that young lady, I remember having my granddaughter standing before me, and she was just beginning to get her little bumps and her butt. And I said, "Yeah, you got that Eatman butt." And I explained to her that that when people look at you and that's the thing that they desire, you can expect that. But what you need to know is when you meet someone, the only thing or the best thing you have to offer them is yourself. And if you've
Mm-hmm.
given it to everybody else, what good is it really going to be to the person that you truly meet and want to give something of importance to?
Mm-hmm.
And I was amazed because her mother said, I never thought about it like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to educating, it isn't just the parents. We've learned some things as grandparents.
Yes.
Don't ever stop teaching. If it's
Mm-hmm.
someone there that you can say that to without it being considered an offense, if it's something need to be said, you need to say it. We've
Mm-hmm.
learned some things that's gone through our mind, has been proven otherwise, and we have a wealth of knowledge. And it's
Mm-hmm.
actually for those that's coming behind us, especially on these types of sensitive issues. And I want to say one other thing, Raheem. My sister's gone, but she said something earlier about the women in accountability. There's a saying in the Nation of Islam, I think that's where I got it, but that a nation can rise no higher than its woman.
Mm-hmm.
When some might think, why put that on the woman? But the reality is, just as Toussaint alluded to, whether the woman is crazy or not, 9 times out of 10 the child is with her. And even in the setting where the mother and the father is there, if he's doing what he should be doing, the child's going to spend more time with her. A lot of the core values come from the woman. And if us
Mm-hmm.
men are, if we've gotten derailed and we're running behind her trying to get her to do this and that, if a no goes a long way.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. I'm looking at the clock, 10:05. It's time for us to get out of here for today. Man, it's been a great broadcast, man. We could actually go a couple more hours with this thing. I see Leonard shake. He shook his head first time when I said that. Shook his head no. So I guess that means we ready to get on out of here. But Rico, what's going on at 3 o'clock today, sir?
Well, if you missed today's broadcast and you would like to see it in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal. Anybody have anything they want to say before we get out of here? Anybody got any last thoughts? Good deal. Good deal. Jamie, let me get you the prayers out, sir.
Yes, sir. Let us pray. Most Holy Father, we most humbly come before you, acknowledging that thou art God and thou art God alone. And Father, we just thank you for this time spent, for the things that have been said. And we pray that if it was worth bringing forth fruit, that you will allow it to do so in our minds and our hearts. And we just thank you for the panelists, for the show, for the host. And we just pray as we go forward, we'll not only discuss these type issues, but we'll make a difference. And we give you honor and glory in all things. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Like you got something on your mind real quickly.
Fresh green beans, red potatoes, and smoked turkey necks. I mean, you tell the truth.
Bring me a plate.
A good show. Like I said, I enjoyed here listening, especially about relationships, and I hope that people got something from it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Especially younger people,
Mm-hmm.
especially younger people in a world that values what's on the outside more than on the inside.
In this world, there's much
It wasn't a
confusion.
song, though. It really wasn't
I
a song.
seen the city life, but it's not for me. That's old Michael Jackson, boy. That's that. But
What
that's
you
the
know
Jackson.
about that? What you know about
Man,
the what about that?
I do dream of distant
That's
places
too long
where I
ago.
don't know why, but it's destiny. You know what he say? He say, if it's the rich life, I don't want it. Nope. Cause happiness ain't always material things. I'm gonna leave it
Jamie
right
looks
there.
so enthused. Jamie looks so enthused.
Jamie was about to join in. Jamie was about to join in. I saw him. I saw him. I saw him want to join in with that song. Listen, it's been a great broadcast. I want to thank all y'all for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now 10:08. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And then we shine some of this light on you from the morning glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. Get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? You all have a great day. And please don't forget, if you looked at the calendar, we're back on Way Out Wednesdays. We're back on Way Out Wednesdays. So I'm very curious to see how this Way Out Wednesday is going to go this week. And so we're back on Way Out Wednesday. So we'll be back Wednesday mornings. So look forward to having each and every one of you all, man. And absolutely, Jamie. So you all have a great day. Take care. Love ya.
Peace and blessings.